That's not right, is it? That's not right. That's right. That was a better start, wasn't it? What a terrible start to the stream. Welcome to the first stream of 2025, and it couldn't have got off to a much worse start than pressing the wrong button. Press the wrong button. If that's an omen for today's game, then oh, come on, Blues. I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling good regardless of the start to the stream. Regardless of that, we are winning today, and I'm convinced of that. The same starting 11 as last week. I can't remember the last time Pep did that. You know, I really can't believe that Pep's gone with the same starting 11. I'm very happy about that, but it's a surprise. He always makes a change. Always makes a change. And I mean, Savinho, obviously, full of confidence. I think it's the right thing to do, in all honesty. I genuinely believe that's the right thing to do in these circumstances. We need to find any sort of form right now. And the fact that we've won one game does not mean we're back. We've got to win this game, and then we can genuinely start talking about form in a positive sense. Talk about the rest of the season. At this point now, it's like we just need to win every game possible. Win the game today. And then obviously Salford, you're expecting us to beat Salford. That then becomes 3 games in a row that we've won. Albeit opposition Leicester, relegation fodder. You know what I mean? West Ham, you know, bang out of form at the minute. Well, they're not actually. They did all right before Liverpool smashed them to pieces, softening them up a little bit. And then City can come along and hopefully carry on the softening of West Ham, because they had 5 put past them by 5 different Liverpool goal scorers last week. So you're hoping that they're soft in the underbelly for City to expose that. But I mean, yeah, Salford is again the 3rd game in a row that we should be winning, and all opposition that we should be winning, and comfortably so. But how's everyone doing, first of all? Hope you're all good. Let's see if the chat works, because, I mean, continuing the way the stream went in the last one in terms of the chat. Church, are you there? No, of course not. The chat's not working. It was working before. I'm going to give it another go to try and get it going again. I don't know what happens. It works before I go live, but then it decides to not work. Let's try it again. This might work, this might work. Or not. Ah, it fucking worked! Fucking knew it. Church with his 6-0. He's back with 6-0. Confidence oozing through Church's veins. I can feel it. It's coming through the camera. It's coming through the lens. Right there. I can feel the confidence. 6-0 has been predicted by Church every bloody week until he realised it was getting a bit silly and we were losing game after game after game after game. And then he was like, I better stop with the 6-0. But he's back. He's back with a 6-0 prediction. To the blue juggernauts. Let's hope we're not a jug of nout today, because we have been a juggernaut, but lately we've been a jug of nout, haven't we? A jug of absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Merla, good to see. I'm so happy the chat's back so I can talk to you guys. Lucian, how are you doing, mate? Happy birthday for yesterday. I know you let me know that it was your birthday yesterday. Hope you had a good one, mate. Going 3-1. Merlag was going 2-1 as well. Straw Teeth says, we signed Omar Mamouche yesterday, according to your sources. You're going to have to let us know who your sources are, mate. Presume you're talking about the Egyptian media, which are coming out with that. We'll be talking about that in the watch-along as well. Omar Mamouche. What a player. I mean, if we go and sign him, I mean, in January, that would be one of City's greatest signings in January. I can't think of many signings we've done in January that are like blockbuster names. I mean, the numbers he's getting with 18 goals and 12 assists so far this season. 24 appearances, Omar Mamouche. 30 goal involvements. You know, he's already scored more than he did last season, so he's on the up and up. Just imagine signing that player, someone who's just bringing that confidence. He's transferring that confidence from Eintracht Frankfurt into Manchester City. That's going to spread to other players. You're hoping we don't infect him with a negative confidence, you know, like bring him down to our level. Hopefully we get up to his level in terms of confidence, because he's absolutely on fire right now, Omar Mamouche. And I mean, the reports coming out of Egypt saying the deal's already been done. We'll get onto that shortly, but there's loads to get through. SVGBNG, good to see you. And that's right, mate, back with the 6-0 for Church. True Blue 93 says, let's smack these hammers up. City 4-1. A lot of confidence in the chat today. I like it. RGS Sneaks, or RG Sneaks, says, Haaland hat-trick. I'd love it, mate. I'd love it. Jack, I remember you, mate. You're not Pauline, are you? You're borrowing an account there, mate. So, Jack, hope you feel better soon, mate. Hope you feel better soon. Beyond the Cosmos, good to see you. Mark, hello, my friend. And Phil's in the house. Hello, good to see you, Phil. How you doing? Hannah is unusually excited for this match, it sounds like. So, yeah, big up, Hannah. How you doing? I'm excited too. I think we're going to win. Why not? I believe in it. I believe we will. 20 minutes to go until kickoff, so I'll talk to you about the starting 11 shortly. Ashley's gone 4-2. Elanis, a 3-1 West Ham win. So that the confidence is completely vanished with Elanis there. Apparently I am gay. I'm going to have words with my children about that. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I made 2 children. I made 2. But apparently I'm hope you're good, mate. I love you too, mate. Try not to spam though, mate. I saw you spamming. Don't do that, mate, if you can, if it helps. But anyway, how's everyone doing? I'm sure I'll speak to some of you later in the chat because otherwise it'll take me ages to get through all that. But yeah, I mean, the team news is amazing. Yeah, I'm really pleased to see the same starting 11, so I'll give it to you now. I presume you've already heard it, but Ortega in between the sticks, Rico Lewis Akanji, Nathan Ake, Josko Gvardiol completes the back line. In front of them, I've gone with a midfield 3 of Bernardo Silva, Kovacic and De Bruyne, Foden on the right, Haaland in the middle up front with Savinho on the left. That was pretty much the system we played against. Who did we play that against? Leicester. That was it. Of course, Leicester. But Foden didn't really play out on that right-hand side. He tucked inside a little bit and allowed... It was actually De Bruyne who spent a lot of the time out wide. But it was a fluid system. There was no one in a fixed position on that right-hand side of the pitch. There was a lot of just this triangle motion going on that right side of the pitch against Leicester, which I thought was really interesting. We could probably see something similar today against West Ham, because I do prefer Foden coming inside. That's where he got his goal from. Don't forget that first Savinho goal, it came from a pass from Kevin De Bruyne, who was bang on that touchline. You know, plays it inside to Rico Lewis. I think Rico Lewis with a first time touch into Phil Foden, who's now in the middle of the park. You know, get that shot away before it was saved came from Phil Foden in the middle of the pitch. So yeah, obviously on paper he started on the right, but he ends up drifting inside to the middle of the pitch. We'll probably see something similar today. It'll be interesting to see if Kevin De Bruyne swoops over to that right-hand side of the pitch, where he's been dangerous in certain games. We saw it against Chelsea, first game of the season, but it was over to the left side more than the right side. But De Bruyne has this role where he can just push out wide and become creative from the flanks, but not high up the pitch. It's quite deep when he does it, and I quite like it. It's interesting. William with the super chat, nice and early, mate. Thank you very much. Make sure you're smashing that like button as well, everybody, if you've just tuned in. Help me get up. What are we on now? 55 likes. Do you reckon we could get to 100 likes before the game starts? Because that would be very, very good and very, very helpful to the channel and all that stuff. But William, thank you for the super chat. I'm so glad I can put them on the screen this week, because that was annoying. Nearly had another bloody stream without it after promising you I would fix it in the last one. I have done. I've lived up to my promise. William says, I went on a date and it all went well until I told her I was a City fan. She stood up, called me a Glory fan, and left me with the bill. Bitch! What a bitch! Mate! You're better off without her, mate. Get out. Oh, man. William, mate, I feel for you. I mean, obviously she must be a rag or a scouser or I don't know. But, I mean... Yeah, that's it's. I've had some bad first dates, mate. Very bad first dates. Worse than that, to be honest. Much worse than that. I've had first dates where I didn't even get down the road before I turned the car around and dropped her back off because she was being so rude. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one for politeness, but I mean, she was unbelievably rude. Just like, I think I was like about a minute late kicking off, and then I suggested about 4 or 5 different places that we could go. None of them were good enough. And I was like, I can see where this is going. I've got your number already. I mean, literally, I've got your number already. But in terms of I've got your personality down, I know you. We are turning this car around. How quick she changed the tune when I turned the car around. She's like, oh no, we'll go to all the places you've suggested. Yeah, let's go to those places. Nah, fuck off. Get out of the car. Do one. Anyway, so many stories like that to go. What a stupid start to the stream this is, talking about first dates. But I've had many, many first dates that were absolutely crazy, mate. Crazy first dates I've had. Moving on, swiftly. Moving on. D, thanks for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. Don't have a prediction for today. Just hope for a win. Well, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm in the same boat, mate. I am in the same boat, hoping for a victorious afternoon for Manchester City. Watching on Peacock today, so there might be a little delay compared to what you're used to in terms of as being close to the live action as possible. I am going to be a couple of minutes, well, not minutes, it should be a few seconds, hopefully less, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, so big up to Jeff, who doesn't seem like he's in the chat just yet, but big up to Jeff, who gave me access to be able to watch this stream today. Which, yeah, thank you very much, Jeff. But what have we got now? 15 minutes till kickoff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Ryan GS, legend, typical City legend for 2 months now, mate. Your support is hugely appreciated, mate. Thank you very much. 2-1 City is gone for. I don't care how we get the win. I just want a win. Same as D. You've got that feeling of just like, yeah, it's that stage of the season, isn't it? We're in the second half of the season now. Performances take a back seat. Results take the front seat. They take the steering wheel now, don't they? Performances aren't that important at this point of the season. It's nice to play well and win, but it's better to play poorly and get the 3 points. And I would argue we weren't that good against the second half against Leicester was still incredibly concerning. But we didn't talk about it. Do you know what I mean? We didn't look at it. We didn't think about it because it was, oh, we got the 3 points. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? How did we get a second goal in that second half performance is beyond me, because I thought we were by far and away the second best team against Leicester in the second half. But I stress the first half was really, really good from City. Again, we come out from the halftime team talk and we play like that, or we operate like that. That was what was strange. It seemed like we sort of went and protected the lead. So if that was the case, fine. But it was like, it's not like we kept them out from like creating chances, you know, because Jamie Vardy was creating so many chances. He had that one that he tipped over the bar with a little side foot volley that a cross came in. Should have put that away and made it 1-1. I'm pretty sure it was only moments later that we made it 2-0. But we come away with a clean sheet, preventing Leicester from scoring in a game where it looked like they were going to score at some point, didn't it? But they didn't. But thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate that. Really do. Good to see you as well, Douglas. How you doing, mate? You're a legend round here. Great super chat, Ryan, and he agrees completely. Hyperholic as well. Good to see you. How you doing? I want to see more McAtee's on the bench, which for some reason I glanced at it today, mate, and I missed him on the bench. But he is on the bench. He is there on the bench, thankfully. But for some reason, when I first looked at it, I thought no McAtee on the bench. January transfer window, he's off. That's what I thought, but it was just my inability to read, my poor ability to read. He was on the bench, so it's fine. Nothing to worry about. I can see why people want to see him today, though, but I don't want to get overly carried away with the James McAtee thing, because we're talking about, 20 seconds of genuinely very good football, the type of football and the individualism from James McAtee in that moment to get that second goal in that second half against Leicester. That moment was like, it stood out, didn't it? Because we haven't seen a player do something as predominant as that in a game of football where City have been playing for quite some time. But it was 20 seconds. Do you know what I mean? It was 20 seconds of quality. I don't want to get overly excited about it. Yeah, he came onto the pitch. He affected the game. He produced a very good bit of football that resulted in the second goal for Manchester City. Fantastic. Love it. Love that from James McAtee. And I agree with you, Hyperholic. I would like to have seen him given a more of a chance. But that starting 11 that we're seeing today started the game against Leicester, and they started very well against Leicester. So you hope we can do the same, but continue into the second half, rather than need the likes of James McAtee to come on in the second half to ignite them again, to get them going again and playing better football, you know? But yeah, I completely agreed. McAtee really was a standout in that second half in particular. It is beyond the cosmos. It's 3 p.m. blackout rule still applies here, and probably will always apply here in the UK. It's to prevent people turning their backs on lower league football get people going to games that aren't just the big blockbuster Premier League games, getting people to go to their local towns rather than missing out on things like that. I'm going to Premier League games as well, because I would argue the Premier League stadiums, even though we get labelled as the team with no fans, we have one of the highest average attendances in terms of percentage of the stadium that is full in the league. Like, we're in the top 5, you know, whereas you look at the rest of, I swear, like West Ham, you look at their stadium, the London Stadium, West Ham, there's always empty seats in almost every game, Premier League games, you know, and you wonder if the 3 p.m. blackout would only worsen that, you know, because fans just don't feel like doing, especially the London teams, because they charge more down there. A lot of them do. You know, the average price, I swear Fulham charge more for their season tickets than we do. That's not a fact, by the way. I've made that up completely, but I know that used to be a fact. I don't know whether that's factual in current day, but I know Arsenal, they definitely charge more than Manchester City charge for season tickets. Yeah, it's the London prices, mate. You've got to pay them. So that 3 p.m. blackout is serving a purpose to try and fill these stadiums, which I understand. And yeah, I mean, it makes it more of a pain in the arse for me to stream, because I have to rely on Jeff. Big up Jeff, who's not even in the chat, but you know, Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff.
Big up Jeff. Appreciate that, Beast. How you doing? I saw you wanted the supersonic chair again. Get the fuck out of here. Let's our star the chair. He's there. Give you a little preview. A little bit of a preview. But sick of this chair, really am. No worries, mate. No worries. Izan, good to see you. Hi, Johnny. I'm always watching you just on the TV most, so don't worry. I'm always watching. Appreciate that, mate. I can't imagine what that must be like. I don't think I've ever seen my own face on a massive TV. If I'm filling up a TV, God knows how big your TV is, mate. If you've got some dock-off 70-inch TV and my face is on it, just like that. So much real estate has been filled with my stupid face. But yeah, I never thought people could be watching me on TV. That's cool. Am I on your TV as well? No way. I thought people, I'd be on phones. I thought my level of quality that I provide you is worthy of resting your elbow on a toilet roll. That's the way I pictured people viewing me. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm worthy of someone's TV. I mean, I'm surprised I'm on your phone, to be honest, or a monitor at best. But being on a TV, mate, I genuinely thought I was toilet viewing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's Jonny saying? I'm having a shit. Let's see what that idiot Jonny's saying on Typical City. That was the best case scenario I was hoping for. But anyway, Super Ace, love you too, mate. Thank you very much. And I'm on your PC. Well, good. At least I'm on someone's screen. That's the main thing here. But what are we on now? We've got 9 minuten till kickoff. Speaking of Manunten, full Krug, speaking in the language, is up front for West Ham today. And the great news, there's bad news and good news from the West Ham side. No Jared Bowen after picking up that injury against Liverpool. There's the Etihad, looking good. But yeah, no Jared Bowen. That's a massive, massive blow for West Ham. Mikel Antonio, as probably most of you already know, is out due to that horrendous car crash he had. I can't believe he's still alive, considering the wreckage that was left behind. So good luck to him, to Antonio, and wish you all the best, mate, to come back from a car crash like that. Hopefully it wasn't stupidity of his own making, silly driving, getting himself into a stupid car crash like that. But I mean, hopefully it's most important thing, he's okay. But he was never going to make it into the team today, was he? So anyway, the team in full for West Ham is Areola the Nipple, Kufal, Kilman, Todibo, and Wan-Bissaka. I've got a lot to talk about with Wan-Bissaka, because if you've watched this channel before, you'll know I actually respect him quite a bit. Like, even though he's a former rag, I hate playing against him. I hate it. He's always managed to... You think about Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling days at United, he used to pocket them every time we played them. You only need to go back to the FA Cup final, when it was actually Gvardiol who he pocketed. But I mean, whoever he goes up against when it's City, he seems to give nightmares to the whichever winger he's going up against. On that day, the first half was Josko Gvardiol in that FA Cup final. And we really struggled, and we created nothing. Second half, Pep sees the problem, brings on Jeremy Doku. The damage has been done at that point because we're 2-0 down, don't forget. But Jeremy Doku comes on in the second half, bags himself a goal, and who knows what would have happened in that FA Cup final had Jeremy Doku started the game, but we were just stifled out of the game completely thanks to Wan-Bissaka. The good news is he's playing left back today, so you're hoping the fact that he's a right-footed, well, he's out of position, let's put it that way. The fact that he's out of position, you're hoping he can, have a bad day at the office. But yeah, I mean, I rate him. I really do. I think he's a very good player. In front of the back line for West Ham is Thomas Souček and Edson Alvarez, who comes back in to, I mean, that midfield three right there. Paquetá's probably going to play as a 10, but considering how the game's going to play, you've got the physical prowess and the strength of Thomas Souček, Lucas Paquetá, and Edson Alvarez. Three huge guys, and I mean, very capable on the ball as well. Thomas Souček, who will come up for set pieces, loves to get goals from set pieces, very good in the air, very dangerous, manages to pick up a goal or two over the course of the season from set pieces, does Thomas Souček. But out wide is danger. Very, very dangerous players. So even though there's no Jared Bowen, Somerville coming in, West Ham fans have been crying out for him to get a start in a West Ham shirt because he's been coming on bit part player all season, not getting the minutes. This is an opportunity for him with Jared Bowen not being available for selection. Somerville coming in, we're going to see what dangerous player he is. He's a very dangerous player. And on the other side of the pitch, you've got Mohamed Kudus, who Manchester City are interested in signing as well. So the two wide players for me scare the life out of me. And that this is a team that is ready-made. The selection just makes perfect sense. It's the setup to beat Manchester City. Solid in the middle, difficult to get through in the middle. You just block it up, plug it up with big physical players, and have two players that are lethal, quick, and create chances to go down the flanks, where City send all their fullbacks forward, like we always do, creating big gaps to be exposed on the counter-attack. Leicester failed to do that against us the other day, I thought they didn't go down the outside channels enough. A lot of their counter-attacks tried to go through the middle. Sometimes it worked as well. With Jamie Vardy, we saw Ortega having to pull off some saves early on in that game as well, don't forget. But yeah, I think that West Ham side, albeit we should beat them, I feel like we should be beating them. There's still a very dangerous midfield and two players on the wings that cause me concerns. You think Thomas Souček, Alvarez, Paquetá, you're thinking Tonali, Joel Linton, Bruno G. That level of midfield that we've seen Newcastle go to Spurs today. They ripped United apart, Newcastle, with that midfield. They've pretty much done the same to Spurs today, taking them and beating them in the midfield battle. Newcastle is the last team on the planet I want to face right now. The last team. I think they're the most informed team in the league right now, and what they're actually doing on the pitch. Obviously Liverpool are very dangerous, but I don't think Liverpool have the midfield. I think Newcastle's midfield is terrifying, because it's got everything. It's got the technicality of Tonali, the unbelievable physical presence of Joel Linton. He's terrifying, man. He's a horrible player to play against, man. You're guaranteed to come off with cuts and bruises and a damaged body after you're going onto the pitch against Joel Linton. Bruno G's not far behind him in terms of physical presence, but he's the nice blend of technicality and physicality. He's a nice blend of the two, Bruno G, and for me, City should be trying to acquire the services of Bruno G. Never going to happen in January, but summer, you never know. Maybe we could test the waters in summer and push the boat out a little bit. But the players are out. Game is about to get underway. Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody. Good to see you. And consider subscribing if you are new. Link is in the description if you want to support the channel. Massively, massively helps, and you can become a member for just a small amount. I don't exactly know the amount. It's a couple of quid a month, something like that, to support Typical City. You get access to emojis that you can fire off in the chat, and you can also have your name in a bright, colourful name so I can see you better when I'm speaking to you, just like Ryan. Good to see you. West Ham should be doing a lot better with that squad. They really should, mate. And Mullet Daddy proving the point there. Is that my stupid face? Yeah, it's my stupid face. Yeah, so you got my face. You got my face. How you doing, Jack? I spoke to you before, mate. You might not have seen it, but I hope you feel better, mate. I know you're feeling ill. Scooter Kid, good to see you as well. Flores, will KDB be free to get in January? Not to get him, to sign him. There's a difference. Someone could sign Kevin De Bruyne in January, but not actually have the player until summer. I can't remember the word. It's a pre-contract is basically the easiest way to explain it. But it's a pre-contract. You can actually sign players that are 6 months away from ending their current contract, which is what Kevin De Bruyne is. And a New York City, a Miami, Inter Miami, or a Saudi Arabian football club could come in and say, Kevin De Bruyne, here's an offer, and you join in summer. He would still stay with City until the rest of the season, but yes, he could sign for another football club. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kevin De Bruyne is just focused. I mean, there's not going to be a short list of players, of clubs, looking for Kevin De Bruyne. As soon as they realise Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, he'll be getting offers left, right and centre, Kevin De Bruyne. Would you keep him at City as well? Because I think his time is over for me. I would probably let him go. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but I just feel like there's a space in the squad for someone else if he leaves. Obviously, that forces City's hand. We need to go into the market and acquire a major signing to replace him. You're looking at Musiala, Florian Wirtz, maybe Alex Baena. A player of that level, like high quality level, needs to come in straight away to replace Kevin De Bruyne. So that needs to be the priority before we even think about letting him go. But it's just, for me, the availability of him. He's always injured, isn't he? He picks up an injury and... they're always big ones as well, you know. They're always like 2 months here and 3 months there. He misses big chunks of the season, Kevin De Bruyne, and it's a massive concern. We know what we get when he's fit and he's raring to go, but it's like you can't plan your season around a player that might not be there for half of it. You know, it's so difficult to get things right. Anyway, game's about to get underway. Where's the scoreboard gone? There it is. Let me just test the scoreline. Let's make it 3-0, 4-0 City. Let's get it warmed up. Get the number 4 warmed up. Yeah? It's not 4-0 City. It's 0-0. But that's just getting the home score all warmed up, ready to bag some goals, because Kevin De Bruyne is about to get us underway. Come on, City! Game's underway. Let's have them. Let's have them. Oh, shit, Church. Look at that. Church. 6-0. Is it, Church? That's an awfully convenient scoreline for to go alongside your prediction. But yeah, here's Foden on the right-hand side of the pitch. So let's get the 11 and where they're playing out of the way. Rico's doing the usual tucking inside, getting into midfield alongside Kovacic. Savinho's gone on the left, as he did against Leicester. I don't know why I said that with a little surprised tone. I wasn't surprised. I even thought that. But Foden's on the right. And everything else is what you saw against Leicester. So it's pretty much the same system and the same personnel that we played against Leicester, which I'm quite happy with that. You know, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, we won the bloody game, so why wouldn't I be happy about that? If anything, it would be a great ball to Rico Lewis. He's in here, but if he can keep it in, gets it. Oh, he scuffed it. Unlucky. A little bit too much on that from Phil Foden. He tries to find Rico Lewis, who makes a clever run on the inside channel, go into the byline for City, and Phil Foden tries to feed it round the outside of some West Ham players, gets a little bit too much on it, and Rico couldn't get that ball across. Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody. We got to well over 100 likes before the game started, so big up to you wonderful, wonderful people in the chat. Really appreciate that. And Safella has remembered. I remember you, mate. You were there in the Leicester game, so big up to you. How you doing, mate? I'm glad to see you join me in a non-Leicester game. Who have you got this weekend? It'd be mad to see Leicester go down, you know. You're playing Villa, aren't you? You're playing them right now, in fact. In fact, we need you to bloody win, so come on, Leicester! We need you to bloody win. Because we need all the points we can get against teams to be dropped by teams around us at the minute, because we are not looking at Liverpool or Arsenal anymore. I've got one eye on Chelsea, to be honest, but I just feel like the way things are right now, I think we need to be honest and open and admit that Liverpool and Arsenal, they're not worth comparing to. They're not worth looking at. We're not good enough to be thinking about beating them or overtaking them. Chelsea's got a little bit of a decline right now. And I think there's a possibility we could sneak over Chelsea before the end of the season and finish above them. Small possibility. But we've got to be getting that top four. It's not necessarily a top four season either because of the UEFA coefficiency ranking. I saw Opta had predicted that the Premier League there is a 97% chance, almost a certainty in other words, that the Premier League and England will be given a 5th Champions League spot. And that's an Opta prediction for 97%. This is an Opta, by the way, that predicted City to win against Aston Villa was 60% chance or something like that. So I wouldn't take that too seriously. But here comes West Ham. Mohamed Kudus into the penalty. You're backing away too much there, Josko. Jesus, Mohamed Kudus picked up the ball and Josko, it's all good and well shepherding your player, backing away with them, not committing. Fine, I understand. The gap between Kudus and Gvardiol was too big there, way too big. He ended up getting a shot, was blocked. But West Ham still have the ball here. City with a little bit of a defending to do. Mohamed Kudus looks offside though. Lino, you getting your flag up? Yeah, flag goes up. Thought he looked offside. But yeah, would you have Mohamed Kudus at City? I think I would. I think I would. But yeah, there's lots of rumours churning around at the minute that Omar Mamouche, the deal has been done. Which is unbelievable if that's the case. If we've managed to bag Omar Mamouche in January, what a signing that is. That's a next level January signing. I think that's above what I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting the available players because you're taking him out of an Eintracht Frankfurt side that they're not going to win the Bundesliga, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, they were third and 9 points off Bayern. I mean, obviously they need to fight for the top four. Ball to Phil Foden down the line here. He's beaten Edson Alvarez. Oh, Phil Foden's cross is a poor one. Just gets it all wrong. Slices it with his right foot and straight into the hands of Areola. But good ball from Kevin De Bruyne. Link up play between Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne was good there. But yeah, Omar Mamouche. I mean, Eintracht Frankfurt could win the Europa League as well. I think there's a very realistic chance that they could win the Europa League this year. And with that in mind, to persuade a player who is so important to that squad as well. You mean 30 goal involvements, need I say more? Do you know what I mean? Need I say more? You're taking their best player in the middle of a season is great news. And obviously the player wants to play in the Premier League, play for Pep Guardiola and the trophy magnet side. Maybe not this season, but we are trophy magnets as a football club. The last decade, we have been nothing but a trophy magnet. And yeah, it might not be the case this season, but who's to say that a player like Omar Mamouche wouldn't reignite that magnetism and get some trophies bagged for Manchester City? Maybe even an FA Cup this season, but certainly not the Premier League with football like this, because Mohamed Kudus is in business here. He's got Josko Gvardiol to beat, beats him easily, and hits the side netting. It's the same story, everybody. It's the same old story. It's just a couple of passes, a couple of bad passes, a missed tackle by Nathan Ake on the halfway line. Somerville beats Nathan Ake, sends Kudus away, and Kudus starts bearing down towards goal. And yeah, puts it wide. He might have been offside in the build-up, but we'll never know because he didn't put it in the back of the net. But he's killing us down that side already. Twice now, Kudus has looked like a very dangerous player. Gvardiol's got his work cut out for him. I wouldn't be coming forward today if I was Josko. It's crazy. Savinho's giving it away now. Come on, City. He needs to up my game. Sloppy again. Just about got the ball back to Manuel Akanji and back to Ortega. Of course I remember you, mate. How you doing, Zachariah? Mark wants McAtee to have started. I mean, the form he played against Leicester, I can see why. I can see why you would say that. But, yeah, instead of who? Who would you have dropped today, then, if you want McAtee to play? Instead of who? My bet would have been Phil Foden and put him on the right, but McAtee on the right isn't quite as effective. alternatively Bernardo Silva, who I still can't believe Bernardo Silva is getting the minutes that he's getting right now. Because he's not... He works incredibly hard. I've never questioned Bernardo Silva's attitude. Never. But this season, I've massively been questioning his ability. You know, his actual output. I mean, he's not getting goals. He's not getting assists or enough of them. He's not beating players. He's not pulling strings. He's not finding cute little passes. He's not been effective enough this season, Bernardo Silva. You know, and it's not through lack of trying. I have to emphasise that, because I don't think it's fair to criticise these players when it comes to attitude, because I think the majority of them have been trying, bar a few games where I think it's up for debate. Mohamed Kudus is in again. Cuts it back. Souček, excuse it, is that going to go out? It's just gone out for a goal kick, but that should be... It should be 2-0 West Ham. 8 minutes in. It should be 2-0. Mohamed Kudus, I mean, Gvardiol, nowhere to be seen. Nathan Ake's got to get across. Doesn't get across. As a result, the ball comes in from Mohamed Kudus, who cuts it back to Souček. All the space in the world for Thomas Souček. And he just skews it. He just scuffs it. Doesn't connect with the ball properly. Side foot effort, looking for the target, and just pulls it horribly wide. Getting away with it. We're getting away with it here. Good ball from De Bruyne, that to Savinho. Savinho's got to beat him here. Kufal. He's got to beat Kufal. Kufal. Oh, ball back post. And Haaland was waiting, but it's cleared by Mavropanos. Not Mavropanos. Sadibo. Oh, it's deflected. Savinho scored again. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I'm not sure it's going to be given to him. I'm not sure he's going to be given to him, because I think it took a deflection. I think that's a cross coming in. But we have got away with murder there. Murder. 2 chances for West Ham in the first 8 minutes. Should be 2-0 West Ham. But instead, it's 1-0 Manchester City. Are we getting the luck that we have not had at all this season? I would argue we're a little bit lucky against Leicester. And that right there is a massive slice of luck. But I do not give 2 shits, because it's 1-0 Manchester City. It's got to go down as an own goal, this, though, for me. Yeah, it's got to be an own goal, that. Kufal, cross, trying to get into the box there by Savinho. Tries to drill it hard and low. But it's so unlucky for West Ham, that. So unlucky. And he just clips the studs of Kufal's outstretched leg and just takes this horrible deflection as Areola drops to try and block the cross. It just goes over his head and into the far corner to make it 1-0 Manchester City. And Savinho's face there tells the story there. The guy's just having a wonderful time in a Manchester City shirt right now. And 1-0. Totally undeserved, but we take it. We take it. Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody. And spread the word to your mates. If you've got any mates you want to share me with, feel free to do that as well. I need to grow this channel more. I'm getting the bug. Getting the bug. How you doing, CJs? How are you doing? Adrian, good to see you as well, mate. City support in Egypt would definitely increase if Marmoush joins City. City will become the Premier League team for most Egyptians once Salah leaves. Great point. Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, it's good to see any sort of signing coming from any sort of neck of the woods. You could say the same about Uzbekistan if we sign Kushanov. They've never had an Uzbek playing in the Premier League before, have Uzbekistan. So there's a whole nation waiting to start watching Premier League football for the one player from that country playing in this division, and he's playing for Manchester City. Great ball here for... Oh, it was wonderful defending by Wan-Bissaka. Again, if anyone's just seen why I rate Wan-Bissaka, that right there, that's a proper defender, mate. I know he's a former rag. He's a proper defender, mate. He's so difficult to get past. He's actually started getting goals for West Ham this season as well. He's getting forward on occasions, and he's playing left-back today. But it was a good idea from Phil Foden trying to find Kevin De Bruyne in a similar fashion to how we found Rico Lewis earlier in the game. Same sort of pass, but Wan-Bissaka was just too strong, too physical. But City have taken a quick corner. Cleverly found. Is Bernardo Silva onside there because the ball from Savinho looked like it could have been offside? Yep. Oh no, it's not. Kevin De Bruyne's body language to me suggested the flag had gone up, but what he was actually doing was waiting for that ball to trickle out for another corner. Again, we've gone quick with it. Short corner taken. Phil Foden to the edge of the area. Savinho. A few little step overs from Savinho to the byline. Right foot crosses blocked by Kufal, but keeps it alive. Gets it back to Phil Foden. First time ball from Kevin De Bruyne. It's up in the air. Not completely cleared. Manuel Akanji on the end of it. Bernardo Silva brings it down. Little flicks and tricks. And it's come out of the penalty area and it's a free kick to West Ham. And Bernardo Silva with some lovely touches in that penalty area, but a free kick's been given to West Ham. Happy New Year, Jan. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Jan. You can. There you go. There's got to be a limit, though, isn't there? To where do you draw the line for Happy New Year? What's the date where you have to stop saying Happy New Year? What is it, the 4th? I think you've got another day or two before it's like, right, come on. We're nearly in 2026. Anyway, here's Mohamed Kudus. Great touch by Kovacic. Well read. Kudus looking like he was about to pull the trigger. Started drifting inside along the edge of the penalty area. But Kovacic got back just in time. And I argue it's good play by Akanji and Ake, who didn't really do anything, but positionally they did. They slowed down Mohamed Kudus there. They blocked up the avenues he was looking for. And that gave an opportunity for Kovacic to get back and put in a vital toe. And City have got a free kick as a result. Chelsea 1-0, is it? Konstantinos says, Jonny... John? Never had... Well, people call me John all the time, but yeah. John, do you think we need defenders with all the injuries too? Yes. I think we need one. I think Kushinov would be a good addition because I don't think he'd be like... He'd probably play, to be honest. He would probably play. Is it a Cole Palmer goal again? Hurts, doesn't it? Every goal, like... It hurts more, but hurts less because it's like it's becoming less of a surprise. But Cole Palmer's just this constant reminder, isn't he? Constant reminder of what we once had. It hurts, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah, low fat, you did. You knew McAtee would be benched. I'm not surprised, mate, to be honest. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, really. I can see why people are disappointed because he came on, played very good in that second half. But it was a small little window of quality. But yeah, I mean, how is he supposed to improve on that level of quality if he's not going to get the minutes? But I still want to hear ball across by Savinho. It's up in the air. It's got another corner to City. I still want to hear who should be dropped then if McAtee plays instead of who. My vote would be Bernardo Silva. But you've got a knock on the door, hypothetically, of Pep Guardiola and say, don't play Bernardo Silva. He'd call security, mate. He'd lock you up. He'd put you in prison. Because the guy loves Bernardo Silva, doesn't he? He plays him at every opportunity. Him and Bernardo Silva are like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure that would happen. But it's corner ball to City. Ryan, me and your dad love your channel from Dublin. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that, man. Big up to you and your dad. Ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. It's cleared by full crew, but only to Kovacic. Phil Foden with a volleyed effort. Bobbling around. And West Ham are definitely going to clear that and hoof it clear, but not that well cleared, actually. Rico Lewis just about keeps it alive, and Kovacic prevents Mohamed Kudus picking up the loose ball there. Does well there, Kovacic, because if Kudus picks that ball up, we're in trouble there. Because it was Rico Lewis pretty much on his own, trying to prevent the counter-attack. But yeah, big up everybody who's watching the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button if you've just joined. Ball into Rico Lewis on the edge of the area. Back to Savinho. No one in the box, though. Haaland gets central, mate. Savinho's... he looks full of confidence, Savinho. He's trying things. Didn't come off. Tried a little nutmeg. Got it wrong. And he didn't get the nutmeg wrong. It's just the fact that it was all about getting through his legs rather than worrying about what happens once you've got it through his legs. So many people do that nowadays, don't they? Just like, get it through his legs and I've done my thing. What about happens when you get it through his legs? Are you going to get on the end of it? Or are you just giving it away and celebrating a nutmeg? That seems to be like the popular way to play football now, is nutmegging everybody. But who gives a shit if you get the ball at the end of it? He did exactly that. Nutmegged Kufal, and West Ham get the ball. Here you go. Oh, it's overhit by Kovacic. But the idea, I'm applauding the idea there because Kovacic, it was overhit. The run from Haaland was good. Kovacic just overhits it, sends it out for a goal kick. But there was a channel there to expose. West Ham are so dodgy at the back, aren't they, at the minute? I'd argue they were unlucky to go 1-0 down. But still, there's gaps here to be exposed. If City can play some good football in an attacking sense. Jan, thank you very much for the super chat. Jan, Happy New Year to you. Hang on a minute. Ball been fed in, but Areola's just about getting it cleared to Wan-Bissaka. City high on the press here. Trying to keep West Ham pinned in. Doing a good job of it as well. A big shout out to the NHS in the UK, who are wonderful and looked after me over Christmas. They deserve to be treated as superstars. Big up, Jan. Big up to the NHS. I'm so glad they looked after you, Jan. I'm so glad to hear that. Honestly, I really, really am. I think we've all in the UK come across the NHS service once in a while. And at some point, they've helped you. You know what I mean? At some point, they've helped you. Probably many points they've helped you. And they've helped Jan, which has made me happy to see you in the chat, Jan. And hopefully you're feeling well for whatever reason you required the NHS. Good. I'm glad you're okay, Jan. And it's a great point. Well done, Jan. But City have taken control of this game. At 1-0, we should be controlling the game. I can't forget that first 8 minutes, though, because we got away with it. We got away with that big time. But it's amazing what a goal can do. Amazing. One goal, even as lucky as it was. It's not like it was a wonderful goal that was well-deserved. It was a cross that was deflected into the West Ham net. So it wasn't even intended. So, you know, but doesn't matter. The confidence is now flooding through these City players. They look that 1% sharp at us. Stop speaking. Akanji just plays it out for a throw-in. Why do I say these things? Why? Akanji, mate. Fucking hell. That seems to be the general theme, low-fat, mo-fat. Everyone in the chat's in the same way of thinking. That just a win will do, and it's exactly what we're getting right now, if things stay the same. Can't believe Luke Littler won the darts championship. I watched the final 2 sets with the missus. Just to, hang on a minute. Kovacic got to win that, mate, and he does. Vital bit, because Kudos was breathing down his neck then, and Kovacic looked like he knew that he wasn't going to win a foot race against Mohamed Kudos. Not a chance. But he had the head start, used that head start to his advantage, gets in a sliding tackle, and prevents a counter-attack. That's 3 times now Kovacic has stifled Mohamed Kudos with a good bit of defensive play from Kovacic. So good to see. It's good to see. But yeah, Luke Littler, man, 17. I know he's a rag. I think there's going to be City fans who hate him just because he supports United. Luckily, I don't have that way of thinking, because if I did, I'd have to hate my own family. So, but yeah, I don't. But yeah, Luke Littler was brilliant. He absolutely wiped the floor with him yesterday. Really good. 17 years old. Unbelievable. Nathan Ake with the ball on the halfway line. All the play in front of him, apart from Akanji, who's to his right. Akanji, mate. You fucker. You got away with that one, Manuel Akanji. That's twice in 2 minutes. Casualness from Manuel Akanji. Not good enough. Not good enough. He's given a free kick, but I would argue, I want to see that again, mate, because I'm not sure that's a free kick. Yeah, it's probably just about a free kick, but you are playing a dangerous game there, Manuel Akanji. Yeah, it's a free kick. Just about, though. Just about. I can see why West Ham are annoyed with that, because Somerville just swoops in. Yeah, it's a free kick, but moments before, Manuel Akanji plays a ball out for a throw-in, when it was a very simple 10-yard pass to Rico Lewis, plays it out for a throw-in. A minute later, he's dilly-dallying on the ball, taking his sweet time with it, before Somerville swoops in. And if the referee didn't give a free kick then, I tell you what, that would have been interesting what VAR would have done. Had he not blown there, the referee, I'm not sure VAR would, and obviously gone away and scored, I'm not sure VAR would have actually overruled and said that's a free kick. It was a free kick, and I think the referee got that right, but it wasn't obvious, which makes me think they might not have overturned that. So Manuel Akanji, mate, you got away with that one. But here come West Ham again. Somerville coming through the middle of Manchester City, gets it out to Mohamed Kudus. That's when the hands go on the head because he's the danger man. It's gone out to Wan-Bissaka, who's come forward down this left-hand side into Paquetá. Lovely 1-2. Lovely football from West Ham, and the cross just isn't on the money from Wan-Bissaka, but the 1-2 from Wan-Bissaka and Paquetá was very good and worrying. Very worrying how easy that was to get in. And then once the Wan-Bissaka got on the end of that little dink from Paquetá, the cross comes in and it goes straight to Savinho, thankfully, and City clear the ball. But, I mean, there's so many warning signs in this game that 23 minutes gone, and, we are not in complete control of this game. And there's definitely still a sting in the tail from this West Ham side. And I would not be surprised if they equalise before half-time. We need a second, big time. Mohamed Kudus into the penalty area. Again, it's a good block from Savinho. Gets back. Vital bit of defending there from Savinho. Really good from Savinho. Rolled out by Ortega to Kovacic, who comes through the middle of West Ham, but slows it down and pokes it out to Phil Foden. Foden just doing a U-turn, looking for options. Goes back to Rico. Inside to Akanji. City have slowed it down a little bit now and trying to take the sting out of the game, because that was another little moment there from West Ham that worried me. It really did. Obito, good to see you. How you doing, mate? Who scored? Kufal. Own goal, mate. Own goal. It was a Savinho cross, so Savinho gets the assist. But yeah, it was just drilled it hard and low. Had a nice cross before that as well, which was looking for Haaland. On the second attempt, it was deflected into the West Ham net. And Savinho looks so lively. He's not been... His actual output's not been that good. He's been a couple of passes that have gone astray. But he looks very, mentally, there. He's switched on. He looks... Sharp isn't the right word. Because sharp implies that he's playing... The football, the output's there. Do you know what I mean? Some passes are still going astray. Pieces of skill going wrong. But the effort, the energy from Savinho is what I think is standing out in this game, because he looks full of life, full of it. And that's great to see. Just keep doing it, mate. Even though the passes aren't coming off, the pieces of skill aren't always perfect, just keep doing it, mate. It will eventually click. It will start working for you. Just keep going, mate. What has he got now? 3 goal involvements in 2 games. So keep going, mate. Keep going. Messi Magic wants Doku for Silva, playing him through the middle. Just bent my toe in a weird way. I don't know how I did that. Fucking hurt, that did. Oh, Kovacic, mate. Kovacic, mate. You've given it away, but City are getting back in numbers here. We should defend this properly, but you never know with City at the minute. Foden gets back and takes the ball. Actually, sorry, Bernardo Silva gets back and then beats Paquetá. That's a yellow card, referee. Get him in the butt, man. You can't do that, mate. Paquetá just grabbed him round the neck. The referee just goes, yeah, free kick. It's a yellow card, mate. Paquetá in a yellow card with, what, an hour of football still to play. He could be getting himself sent off. He's now got a free tackle where he can do that again. That's a joke, referee. How's he not booked him there? Did everyone watch the Spurs-Newcastle game earlier? Because there was an interesting decision in the first, 6 minutes of that game. Handball. Was it a handball? Do you think it was a handball? Because it's like so blatantly hits his hand. But it didn't impact the goal directly, but it kind of did. For me, I'd be thinking that action became a goal. So, yeah, lovely play from Kovacic again, though. Got a feed. Oh, and he got it to De Bruyne just about. The play in the middle from Kovacic was brilliant. Ball in from De Bruyne is cleared by Kilman. Max Kilman's a good centre-back, by the way. I think he's a very good. Craig says, no handball for Newcastle. Low Fat says non-intentional handball. It's the rules. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just such a bad watch, isn't it? That it is the rules. So by the letter of the law, yeah. Kovacic has just been booked. I haven't seen for what because I was reading the chat, but let's have a look at what he did here. Yeah, he brought down Somerville. Yeah, it's a yellow card. I agree. It's a yellow card. But why the fuck is Paquetá not been booked? You're preventing someone from getting forward. Just out and out, that's your goal, is to stop the person rather than the ball. It's an immediate yellow card. Like Low Fat says, that the non-intentional handball, it's the rules. So why is Kovacic, yeah, it's a yellow card. But two wrongs don't make a right, you know? He got Paquetá in the book. I can't believe he's not been booked. Nadir says Kov has been horrendous. I'm not sure about that, mate. But here's Souček at the back post, nods it away. De Bruyne clears it just about. Wait, how is this still 1-0 City? Because West Ham, I would say, have just about edged this game as the better of the two sides. I do think West Ham have been better than us. But the final third is just letting them down. The ball into the box has just not been good enough from West Ham. If they could work on that final ball into the box, this game would be over. Paquetá, wide of the mark, drags it wide. But again, another opportunity for West Ham. Very little to speak of from a City point of view for the last 10 minutes. After the goal, we took control of the game for about 5 minutes. Didn't last long. Yeah, Nadir, I disagree. Kov has been horrendous, mate. I don't agree with that at all. I think Kovacic has been all right. I think there was a bad tackle then and he got himself booked, but I actually think he's put in some vital touches and prevented counter-attacks on numerous occasions. Good ball from Ortega, that. Pass right through the middle of West Ham into Haaland, who lays off Gvardiol. Gvardiol's coming right through the middle. Go on, Josko. Go on, Josko. He slowed it down, gets it out to De Bruyne. De Bruyne passes it out to Savinho. Still in the penalty area. Savinho shot into Areola's hands. He slipped while taking the shot, Savinho, so he didn't really help. Again, good position. Touch was a little bit heavy from Savinho, but didn't lose the ball. Then the shot ends up slipping. That's what I'm talking about. It's just like, I still think there's more to come from Savinho. I still think there's so much, such a promising future for Savinho. I think he just needs to calm himself a little bit. He's so frantic. He seems like his brain's going 110 mile an hour. He just needs to slow down a little bit. That's all. But Somerville's broken again. Kudos on the right-hand side for West Ham. It's 5-on-4 against Manchester City. Kovacic ambling back there, looking like he's knackered already. But Mohamed Kudus into the penalty area. Somerville. Edson Alvarez out to Kufal. Cross is coming in. It's in. It's up in the air. City want a handball for something, but Ortega's got the ball, so it's no goal, but still. Micah, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. You're a legend. Happy New Year to you as well, mate. Everything is going very well. Very well indeed. Manchester City are winning the game. We don't deserve to be honest. Bit lucky to be 1-0 up. Not going to lie, but here we are. We're 1-0 up. So, yeah. Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody, and tuning in to Typical City is much appreciated. Thank you very much. And Jeff, big up Jeff, gifted 1 membership. Nicto Clark gets it. Big up to you, Nicto. Hope you're good as well. Thank you, Jeff, for your support. No need to apologise at all, Jeff. Absolutely no need to apologise at all, mate.
Cheers, Jeff.
But yeah, I'm concerned that this game is slowly growing. West Ham are growing in confidence, aren't they? They're starting to realise that we should be throwing a couple more players forward here because we're here for the taking. You know, but I would argue when we go forward, we look like we could score as well, but we're not going forward as much as West Ham. You know, they look like the more dangerous side, but there is still a threat from City because when we go forward, it looks like we could do something. And here is the opportunity. Haaland cuts it back. Edge of the area, Bernardo Silva. Oh, and it's saved by the feet of Areola. He dived the wrong way. And he left his feet behind him. And as a result, he ends up clearing it off the line. But again, just as I was saying, City still have a sting in our tail. We definitely do. No, ball into Rico. He's in business. Rico, cut it. Haaland, come on. Oh, shitting hell. Just waiting for a tap in there. Good football from City. It should have been 2-0. Should have been 2-0. Referee says, get up to Mohamed Kudus. Kevin De Bruyne just bodied him in the middle of the pitch there. Big up, Jeff, mate. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're all good, mate. But yeah, City looked like we could score, you know, but the scary thing is so do West Ham. Savinho to the byline. Cross is blocked. Another corner ball. Savinho frustrated that he couldn't get that cross in, but still, positive play from our front players. Positive actions are being taken in the final third. We look all right in the final third. I think it's probably more West Ham's poor shape. I don't think they've got a very good shape defensively, to be honest. I mean, they conceded 5 against Liverpool. I mean, everything Liverpool did in that game, it just felt like they could do no wrong, Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Everything they hit went in. But West Ham, a bit ropey in defence this season. Not very good at all, but a corner ball to City, into Savinho. Oh, Savinho, that's what I'm saying. It's a shocking piece of football from Savinho. It really is. Somerville's coming forward. Savinho, mate, what have you done here? Ball into Mohamed Kudus. Only Phil Foden to defend against him. And Kudus, he does enough there, Phil Foden. Well done, Phil Foden. But Savinho, mate, that's what I'm saying. Not good, mate. Such a simple pass from Savinho. Just like his head's like fucking frantic, innit? Like, that's a 5-yard pass to Kevin De Bruyne. A corner. Taken short by Kevin De Bruyne into Savinho. The typical move of a short corner is go round the player you've just passed it to if you were the corner taker. De Bruyne does exactly that. He's now waiting for the pass back from Savinho. He just passes it straight to Somerville. He's only 5 yards away, De Bruyne. Savinho ball back post and Wan-Bissaka plays it safe and cushions it out for another corner to City. I mean, don't give it Savinho on the short one again. Jesus Christ, what was that, mate? But even though that was terrible from Savinho, I'd still say he's been our most dangerous player, you know, going forward. Foden with the ball. Ball in, flicked on. Oh, it's going to be cleared. Yeah, it's cleared by Max Kilman. A little near post flick on there by Josko Gvardiol. Could have gone anywhere, that. It was a poor corner, actually, by Phil Foden. Because I don't think it was intended to be down here, like to get underneath it and try and flick it on. There's so many aspects of our football that need working on. Set pieces, for one. We've died. We've stopped scoring from set pieces. You know, we used to be quite threatening from them. We don't score at all from set pieces anymore. You know, we have no midfield whatsoever. No physical presence in that midfield. Confidence as well, which is just the whole squad can be spoken about in that regard. You know, we have no confidence whatsoever. They just don't believe enough. You know, there's still some jangling nerves out there on that football pitch. But it doesn't take much to fix these things, you know. A couple players signed will alleviate the injuries. That would therefore alleviate pressure on certain players. They might not have to play. The results would probably start getting a little bit more attractive, picking up a few more wins. And as a result, the players that are already here will start to feel a bit better and a bit more confident. And then all of a sudden, you know, second half of the season, we can start getting excited and start talking about, you know, potentially winning an FA Cup. Maybe. Donna's enjoying itself or himself. Lots of emojis. But yeah, I mean, what's the latest? Micah asks. Omar Mamouche is the latest name. Ederson's been linked. I just can't see City signing Ederson in January. I just don't see that happening. The other player is Kushanov from RC Lon, 20-year-old Uzbekistan centre-back. Reminds me of that Lee Evans joke where they're shouting all the... You know, in the Olympics when all the... Hang on a minute. Savinho to the byline. Options on the edge of the area. It finds one. It's Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis with the effort. Oh, what an effort from Rico Lewis. Produces a wonderful save from Areola. You saw Savinho did well there. That's what I'm talking about, Savinho. Just calms himself, gets his head up, recognises There's a couple of players on the edge of the box there. Finds one of them. One of them being Rico Lewis. He's got so much time he can take a touch, set himself, drills it. Not quite in the corner though. Gets it a little bit too central there, Rico Lewis. And Areola, yeah, it's one for the cameras really. Should be saving that. Now I can see it from behind the goal. It wasn't quite in the corner. But again, a crap corner from Kevin De Bruyne. Nearly ends up being a goal, to be honest, because it ricochets off the head of Manuel Akanji. But I mean, the ball into the box has got to be better. Give the big men a chance. Haaland's going to be livid with some of the balls that have come into the box in this first half. Livid. He's had nothing, Haaland. Absolutely nothing to feed off. Oh, slip from Paquetá. Haaland can't capitalise. Yeah, it was a simple throw in there for West Ham, and just a little moment where Paquetá slips, it runs underneath his body, and Haaland could have picked up the loose pieces there, but doesn't. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We've got nearly 700 watching, but we're still under 300 likes. Do you reckon we could get to 300 likes before half-time? That'd be great. Yeah, Obito, are you talking about the Leicester game? Yeah, where's that Haaland gone? In this game, I mean, I don't think it's Haaland's fault that he's not getting the service he's getting in this game. But I would like to see Haaland play the way he played against Leicester, because he was dropping deep, he was getting involved. I thought he was brilliant against Leicester. It was an aspect to his game we've just not seen at all. But there he is, doing a brilliant bit of defending, near post, defending the throw-in from West Ham, clears it to Kevin De Bruyne, and it wasn't just a clearance, he knew who he was clearing that to. He got that ball to Kevin De Bruyne. It's a free kick to City, because City couldn't quite break away there, but because Edson Alvarez brings down Kevin De Bruyne, but that's a yellow. That's another yellow. It's a yellow card. There's Paquetá should be on a yellow. Edson Alvarez should be on a yellow. Two players who love throwing a tackle in that have got to spend the rest of the game on a yellow card. That should be the case. Instead, Kovacic is on a yellow card. Fuck off. Did he get a yellow? Did I miss that? Did I miss the yellow? Rahul says, so many fouls from West Ham and no yellow till now. Do you mean just no yellow at all? I don't know. Like, yeah. It should at least be. The Paquetá was a definite yellow. Definite yellow. Kevin De Bruyne into Savinho's. He's had it taken off him by Souček. Ball was cleared and blocked by Gvardiol. Throw into West Ham. Deep in the West Ham half. Come on, City. 290 likes. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. If we could get to still 10 away from 300 with 5 minutes to go, I reckon we can do it. I reckon we can do it. Cheers, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Yeah, the problems are still there for City, though, aren't they? We're winning the game, but there's still a scary amount of possession for the opposition compared to what we're used to. Wan-Bissaka's ball in deep. Gvardiol, well done there, Josko Gvardiol. Read that cross, got underneath it, cleared it. Just about couldn't keep it in, though, because it's gone out for a West Ham. Probably should have kept that in. I don't know what he was doing there, actually, but he did really well to get on the end of that cross. But the ball's coming into our box way too often. Here comes another one. Surely he's offside there, but it doesn't matter. Gone out for a goal kick. But yeah, I mean, there's... I mean, what do you make? Let me know in the chat. Do you feel like we're lucky to be 1-0 up? Do you feel 1-0's fair? I mean, football isn't fair. As a sport, it's just not fair. It's one of the few times, one of the few sports in the world where quite often the best team doesn't win. Do you know what I mean? It's a very common thing. Savinho with some lovely footwork there. Gets the ball. Back post is railing. Oh, what a ball from Savinho! Right onto the money for Haaland to nod it in. He leaps like a bat's vagina. Gets up there and nods it in. Haaland, what a cross from Savinho. Assist number 2 for Savinho. Oh, the Brazilian magic. What a ball that was from Savinho. Areola caught in no man's land. Haaland leaps up. Nothing for Haaland all game. Nothing. One chance, one goal. Big man's got a goal. 2-0 Manchester City. Get in. Oh, I love that. From Erling Haaland. Savinho rinsing Kufal. Rinsed him. Hung him out to dry as well. The balling's just delicious. It's just perfect. It's a perfect cross from Savinho. That's the crosses we saw in a Girona shirt last season. You know, one of the most lethal crosses in European football last season. This season, nowhere near good enough. But that is exactly what we need to see more of. We really do. Suave Media asks a question that I was going to straight away, by the way. I was thinking that immediately, as soon as you asked it. I don't know, Church. What did I say? I say all sorts of shit. He meant to be leaps higher than a bat's vagina, but leaps like a bat's vagina. I don't know, mate. I come up with some shite, don't I? Absolute bollocks comes out of my mouth. But back to the question in hand, is Savinho better than Doku? Very different. Very, very different. You've got explosiveness from Doku. It's not... The thing is, if you say Doku's more explosive, it doesn't mean Savinho isn't explosive. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's got explosiveness to his game as well. But I don't think Savinho's as tough. You know, I don't think he's... Ooh, fucking Bernardo Silva there. Risky pass to Ake. He's all right. Lovely little flick from Gvardiol. But West Ham got the ball back. Keep a clean sheet now. Well done, Phil Foden. Getting back. Reading the danger. Turn, mate. You can turn there. Keeps the ball. Brilliant. Brilliant from Phil Foden, that. Superb from Phil Foden. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Big M, thanks for doing the moderating, mate. Good to see you as well. Messi Magic, appreciate your support on the channel, but let's keep the spamming down, people. I mean, down, none at all, please. Don't spam, please. But yeah, Big M, thanks very much. Messi Magic, appreciate the support, mate. But yeah, question. I don't know. It's different. It's really difficult to answer. What I think the best way to start looking at it is Savinho more suited to Erling Haaland than Jeremy Doku? That's when it starts to get a little bit lopsided for me, and I start to think Savinho is more well suited to play in this Manchester City side than Jeremy Doku is. And I love Jeremy Doku as purely from individualism. He gets me on the edge of my seat, and I mean, he's exciting. Nowhere near enough end product, but you could say the same about every City player apart from Erling Haaland this season. Every single City player is in that same boat, and Doku's actually up there with assists and goals compared to some. Obviously, Josko's got an amazing output for a defender, but I think Doku's just behind him. Savinho's obviously catching him up now, but here comes Josko. He's got Savinho on the underlap, dinked across. It's going to fall to the edge of the area, and you were hoping the next player to arrive on the screen was a Manchester City player, but it wasn't. Edson Alvarez collects the ball and the danger's gone. 1 minute of injury time to be added on with seconds remaining of that minute. So we should be looking at half time any moment. Any moment now. 2-0 at half time. Feels fortunate. I feel like West Ham really can only blame themselves. There goes the half time whistle. As much as I think we've been a little bit... It's not lucky. It doesn't feel right to say luck. Because I feel like West Ham have generated their own bad luck, if that makes sense. Their ball's in, their final cross has just not been good enough. But what's worrying for City is how often that was happening in the course of that first 45 minutes. West Ham were getting into very dangerous positions and just couldn't do anything with it. And it's not through brilliant defending from City. A couple of crosses came in, were dealt with quite well. I think Savinho got back. Phil Foden just then before the half-time whistle got back and prevented a good pass into a dangerous position. Moments like that have been reasonable, but I would say another side with a better deliverer of the football into that penalty area, they'd be punishing us. You know, you go into Champions League knockout stages against sides and you have this vulnerability at the back. I think we concede in this first half against a better side. I really do believe that, and that's more West Ham's fault than City's fault. You know, the fact that it's still a nil, we've still got a clean sheet. You know, I got a stat for you actually. Speaking of clean sheets, where is it? West Ham have had no clean sheets. Now in the prior to this game, West Ham had no clean sheets in the previous 24 Premier League games versus Manchester City as a single opponent. No, that's the longest record ever, because now it's 25, of going, now equaled the record that they held themselves, West Ham, in a period of time where they went 25 games without a clean sheet against Sunderland, against the same opponent. 25 games versus Sunderland, ranging between the years of 1923 to 1968. And now we've equalled their own worst record. Like, West Ham and Manchester City, we always seem to be able to beat them, don't we, at the minute? And it's carrying on today. West Ham actually beat Sunderland. To end that, on the 26th game, West Ham beat Sunderland 8-0. So they got the clean sheet and they bagged 8 in the process in 1960 whatever. The chances of West Ham scoring 8 against this Manchester City side, I don't know. Surely not. No. I mean, they've had 8 chances. I'd say they've had 8 chances in this first half, but I mean, we can't have any stupid scorelines like that this season, because I feel like some of the goals that have gone in this season, the games that we've lost in this period, I felt like we could have lost by more. You know, Liverpool springs to mind. Liverpool away, was it 2-0? It was 2-0 in the end, wasn't it? I'll take that. The way the game went, that could have been 5 or 6. It could have been a really, really ugly scoreline. Micah, thanks very much for the super chat, mate. Is it just me, or are the team actually playing way BTR? I'm not sure what that means. Better. Playing way better. They're definitely playing better in an attacking sense. I think we look a little bit more potent when we go forward. I feel like when we do go forward, I feel like, yeah, we could score here, because there's been games like Villa. You know what I mean? Villa away. We didn't look like scoring. You know, we didn't look like scoring at all. And somehow we scored. Phil Foden scored at the end of the game. Don't know how that happened. Do you know what I mean? But that second half against Villa, we didn't look like scoring at all. This game, we look like we could genuinely score every time we go forward. It's just the midfield. It's just the transitions. We're just constantly, every game, struggling with the transitions. We have the ball, we create a chance, or we're getting close to an opportunity where we can create a chance, and suddenly one bad pass, dead. We've got Kovacic, who looks like he's running through treacle. He's never been quick, but he's actually putting some good defensive contributions into this game, has Kovacic, for me. I was impressed by some of the stuff he did, but you can't blame him for not being quick. You're quick or you're not quick. It's not something you can train. You can add maybe a couple of yards here and there when you're younger. Get on them fucking bungees or whatever it's called in training, where you strap yourself in bungees, or have a parachute running behind you to try and improve your speed and increase your leg muscles. But you can't teach an old dog new tricks. He's gone past that. Kovacic he's over 30 now. He ain't going to get any quicker. You know what I mean? So we have to play what we've got. And as a result, every time we lose the ball, they just break on us. And Kovacic has done a reasonable job at preventing it in certain occasions, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. And West Ham are coming forward with ease in that first half, and it worries me. It really does worry me. Oh yeah, clock. Ignoring the chat. Look at that. Look at that. You just get rid of the L, and that's what I am. Just change it, would you, to cock, and that's me. 2-0. Bloody 2-0. Oh. Always, mate. I don't fucking stop talking. It's good that I do streams, isn't it? Because, I mean, I could click live all the time. This is how I speak by myself. Even if I'm not live, this is me talking. I'm talking to my screen. Like, I'm always talking to myself. Just like, blah, 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 blah. Non-fucking stop. Yap, yap, yap. Right. Going for a piddle. Because half-time's going to be round here. Anytime. What was I going to say? I was going to say something then, but I forgot. Don't know. It's gone now. Anyway, going for a piddle. Enjoy the chair. And I'll be back. Uno momento. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Make sure you're hitting them likes as well. 370 likes. Thank you, everybody. Massively appreciate it. Really do. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in 1 minute. Maybe less. Depends if I feel like washing my hands or not. Oh, 2-0. Is it over though? It never is it? 3-0. I still don't feel safe, to be honest. 2-0 feels comfortable and I'm happy, but I don't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination. I'm kind of concerned. Jan, you legend. Thank you, Jan. You're an absolute legend, Jan. Nearly messed the whole chat up there. Sagnick gets it. Enjoy, Sagnick. Enjoy the membership. And big up to you, Jan, for sticking that in the chat. Hope you're good. Oh, Lubos, that's a big shout, that. That's a big shout. Imagine if we did. Omar Mamouche certainly gives us more of a chance. It doesn't mean we're going to win it. I mean, the Champions League for me is... it's impossible to predict the Champions League. You end up with... Especially this new format as well. I think that changes everything. You're going to see some weird teams, I think, now. In the final stages of the game. But yeah, I still feel like we could win it, but... It would take an incredibly large amount of luck, you know, and in knockout football. I'll always go back to, Chelsea, when they won it, with the, not against us, against Bayern Munich, with the Didier Drogba last minute, equaliser before going on to win it on penalties. What a header that was from Drogba, by the way, to equalise it. They'd been getting battered all game. I remember it so well. Wasn't it the year after the Aguero moment? I think that was the year, so it was like 2013, I think, when Chelsea won. But that year, they finished like 7th in the league. They were absolutely pants, Chelsea. Pants. Proper poo. And won the Champions League, though. You know? And who remembers Chelsea being bad in the league? And who cares? You know, when you go and win a Champions League. The Champions League just supersedes any feeling that you've had, any sort of narrative that you've gone through over the course of the season is eradicated if you go and win the Champions League. It doesn't matter. You won the Champions League. The narrative is now City won the Champions League, or back then Chelsea won the Champions League. The chance is incredibly slim. The problem for City is we might not even get into the knockout rounds. We're going to get exposed by our league form. We're being exposed in the league table right now. We've got to beat PSG and Club Brugge to even give a glimmer of hope to getting automatic progression into the knockout rounds. The likelihood is we're going to have to play a playoff round before the official knockout round starts, when we're in that mid-table lot. We're in that big bunch of teams. And who knows who we could end up facing in there. And the fact that there are big teams in there. I think Inter are in there. I think Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid in there. I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure there are other big teams that are in there. So our first knockout round could be Real Madrid, in which case you could say, see you later. We're getting knocked out. Luck of the draw might play. Well, it's not luck of the draw, is it? It depends on where you finish, but it does become luck of the draw once you're into the knockout stages beyond that. But a lot of it's worked out for you already at this stage, isn't it? In terms of who you face in that playoff round depends on the position you finish in, doesn't it? But yeah, Ortiz says it's always Real Madrid, mate. It is. Real Madrid are just like, I was saying trophy magnets before that. In terms of the Champions League, I don't know how they do it. It's crazy. That semi-final for me was just mind-blowing. You know, Riyad Mahrez gives us the lead. I got shivers then, like, you know, bad shivers, like not good shivers. I got like, ugh. Just gave me the ick, you know, when like, ugh. After that, you're like, we've done it, we've done it, we've done this. We're gonna beat Real Madrid and we're gonna go to the final. How did that happen? Bloody Benzema. Wasn't it Rodrigo as well? I'm sure Rodrigo was the one who got the eventual goal to knock us out. And Benzema got the penalty as well in stoppage time, didn't he? But, yeah. Konstantinos says, Jonny, both Messi and Ronaldo have been linked to City. Messi loan and Ronaldo hasn't turned City's deal down like most other clubs. Who do you think is more likely to join City? I don't think either of them are going to be in a Manchester City shirt ever, is my honest bet. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Messi all day long. All day long. Yeah, I just prefer Messi. That's my preference. But in terms of what we need, again, I would pick Messi because I think he offers more to the side than Ronaldo does. He would go up top, and what? Is he going to play on the bench for Haaland? Because he ain't taking Haaland's spot. You know, he'd have to play up front with Haaland or sit on the bench. You're not going to play him out wide, are you? He doesn't have the ability to do that anymore. He's too old to be doing that. Ronaldo, he's not effective. He's just a number 9 now, isn't he, Ronaldo? Whereas Messi, he could play a little bit deeper, play right bang in the middle. It's just his mobility. The guy just walks about the pitch now, doesn't he? You know what I mean? He doesn't actually move that much if you watch him playing in recent games. But Vladis, thank you very much for your support. Welcome to becoming the Typical City member. You are part of the Typical City team. Welcome, Vladis. Thank you very much for you showing your support and becoming a member. Appreciate it, mate. Really do. Sagnit wants Echeverri. I don't know what you mean. In terms of, like, playing him, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can bring, but I don't think we should be getting too excited about Echeverri yet, you know. And in terms of the future, yeah, the immediate future I'm talking about. What is Echeverri going to do this season? He's going to come in, probably get a few minutes here and there, and just be sporadically, like, thrown into the starting 11. A game here, 45 minutes there, 20 minutes there, that sort of thing. And then the next season, we should be, like, expecting more from him. And this is just, like, a learning for City fans to learn what Echeverri's all about, and the same the other way. But the teams are out. Well, West Ham are out, at least. There's David Moyes. Wonder what he's doing. Probably waiting for Lopetegui to get the sack, because he's very soon going to get the sack. The way that West Ham season's been going, it's not been good at all. And you wonder if West Ham would have David Moyes back, you know, considering how their season's gone. I wouldn't be surprised if most of them say, yeah, I'll have David Moyes back. How are they doing in the league table? But City are on the way out. Second half's about to get underway. So, West Ham are 13th in the league, ahead of Manchester United. Just point that out. But United now obviously have a game in hand, but that game in hand is against the Scousers. The Scousers. What do you reckon the score's going to be between Liverpool and United tomorrow? Notice how I didn't say who's going to win or who's going to draw. Just what do you think the score's going to be? How many are United going to lose by is my question. Right, second half. Come on. Kudos kicks it underway. See, that's reasonable. That's not actually like impossible, is it? Like, it's been 7-0 only a couple of years ago. So I mean, they're better than that now. United are worse than when they lost 7-0. You know, and Liverpool are better. So 9-0's plausible. It's plausible. Okay, you're taking it too far there, but always one, isn't there? What the hell is that? I saw what the hell is a tiny nil. Raitu. I don't know how you made the nil. That's not even a number, is it? That's a degrees. How did you get that into the keyboard? What key did you press to make the degrees symbol appear? But anyway, Chess said 7-0, did it? 5-3 Liverpool. That'd be a good game. Messi Magic wants 10-0. How's everyone doing that? What's the degrees? How do I press that? I don't think I've ever needed to press degrees. Hold down 0. Or is that what you do? Right. Was that on a keyboard or on a phone? Anyway, the second half's about... we're playing football. Anyway, enough about Celsius and degrees. But yeah. Make sure you're hitting those likes up. If you haven't hit the like button already, please do. Costs you nothing. And it's really, really helpful. All right, B. Chill out, B. Ball knocking around midfield. Kovacic picks up the loose pieces. Starts coming forward, but no options really other than Kevin De Bruyne, who was looking for a run round the outside. Chooses to go just to keep the ball, Kovacic. And fails in doing that because Paquetá's picked his pocket, but Phil Foden gets it back immediately. Great counter press from Phil Foden. 2 defensive contributions now from Phil Foden in this match that has really pleased me. That was a good one as well. The one at the end of the first half, vital. That one, it's a bit deeper. We're still in their half, but it's part of the counter press. It's important. It stops the transition. We need to win the ball back as quick as possible. It's the reason Pep... That's what it got known as, wasn't it? Nowadays, it's got a name, isn't it? The counter press. But back when Pep first came on the scene with Barcelona, it was just known as Barcelona get the ball back really, really quickly. That was the terminology. That's what it was known as. How quick does Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi, they just get the ball back like that, don't they? It's called the counter press, and it's so important in a Pep Guardiola system. And it is the reason why we are losing football matches this season, because we do not get the ball back quick enough. Whether that's energy, lack of speed from certain players, lack of positional awareness from certain players, probably a combination of all of these things, as well as you miss the one player that's probably one of the best in the world. Not in the counter press, because Rodri's not that quick. He's not slow, but he's not that quick. But Rodri's his footballing IQ is next level. Isn't it? Next level. And he just doesn't need to move that much because he just gravitates towards the right part of the pitch to prevent counterattacks. He's just this constant safety net to our midfield that's always there. And without him, we've just been exposed time and time again. But there's other players that could step up and do a better job. Kovacic is trying his best, but Gundogan was just no good at that. It was just useless. Useless at that job. Gundogan should be playing higher up the pitch to get the best out of him. Playing him in the 6, don't ever want to see it again. Unless we have to, you know. And we've had to this season, unfortunately. But it was that bad, I would start saying things like, give Nico O'Reilly a go. You know, because he just can't do it, Gundogan, at all. So if there is a moment where it's like, we haven't got Kovacic, obviously we haven't got Rodri, and if we therefore didn't have Kovacic, I would start saying... Don't play Gundogan there. Play Nico O'Reilly. Give him a go. But West Ham have been, they've still got the ball, but they've been a bit sloppy so far in this first half, giving it away a couple of times, but they're looking to spring an attack here, and they're doing a good job of it as well. Somerville coming forward. Kovacic just can't, he's just about, well done, Mateo Kovacic. Still got the ball though, Somerville somehow, but gets a toe in there, Kovacic. Got Wan-Bissaka to beat. Again, Kovacic with a tackle. Shuts the door on Wan-Bissaka, but the cross comes in. Nathan Ake clears it. Kufal keeps it alive. 2 pieces of quality play from Kovacic here, but Fulkrug's getting a touch on the ball to the edge of the area. Kudos. It's going to break to Kufal. Whips it. Ortega tips it over the bar and it stayed. The cross has actually stayed in play. Foden tees himself up and clears it with a beautiful volleyed pass to Kevin De Bruyne. Now Savinho can bring it forward. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Haaland's been sent away. He's got Kilman to beat. Onto his left foot. Into Savinho. Oh, and it's a vital touch. Who's that there? Was that Todibo? He got a vital little heel on it. Just sticks a toe out. Sticks his heel behind him. And prevents the pass from Haaland finding Savinho, and it would have been 3-0. If that passer was found, it's 3-0. Should have been 3-0. We should have made more of that situation there, really. I thought Haaland probably should have had a shot, in all honesty. He shouldn't have even been trying to pass that. I'd have had no problems with Haaland being greedy in that situation. I felt like there was a good opportunity to have a shot there. Because he'd cut it back onto his left foot. Somerville's just rinsed Rico Lewis. Sorry, no, it's Wan-Bissaka, but Somerville has got it now. Akanji pokes it back to Ortega, who clears the ball. But there's still a threat. Next goal, killer. Killer in this game. 3-0. That'll should be game over for me, even though 3-0's not been a definitive scoreline for us. Certainly it wasn't against Feyenoord. But you would think 3-0 should see this game through for Manchester City. I just saw Haaland drop hunched over there, holding his groin. Oh, it's his bollocks. Let's have a look. He's upside down, so I'm just going to... There we go. Haaland was upside down like that, so I wanted to see if he was smiling. Like, is he smirking the fact that his bollocks have been smashed? He'll be all right. As long as it's a bollock smash and not like a groin pull or anything. Look at the faces of Bernardo Silva and Pep there just staring at Haaland like, you better get on your feet, mate. Because our season's over if you're injured. It's over. It's over. In every aspect. Like you can possibly think of. Because otherwise we're going to have to be playing Mubama. Divin Mubama. Is he not even on the bench, is he? No, he's not even been on the bench. A player we signed from West Ham, actually. Divin Mubama. Former Hammer. It looks like it's not a groin, it looks like a bollock smash. And I mean, they can take you out for 5 minutes, but the good thing is it's 5 minutes later, you're probably all right. You're running about the pitch again. But Todibo's coming off. West Ham have got a substitution to make here. Having another look at that opportunity where Savinho and Haaland brought it forward. Probably not, actually. Now I've seen it back, Haaland probably did make the right choice in trying to find that pass. Because it looked like Kilman was probably going to block that shot. If he did. But Mavropanos comes on for Todibo. Kind of similar to the first half, really. West Ham worry me, but there's still City look like we could score, you know, and we nearly did again then. De Bruyne. Oh, he didn't have a look there. Bernardo Silva was running right through the middle of West Ham. Haaland had actually dropped deep and did a good job, actually. But De Bruyne tried a first-time pass, but Bernardo Silva wasn't looking because he was too busy sprinting. And when he realised he didn't know which way to look, the ball had gone that way and he'd looked that way. But yeah, no, we've done okay in this game. There's aspects of this performance to be pleased about. I think in the final third we've looked reasonably dangerous. I think in midfield there's been moments where we've been good, but there's still a large amount of concern for me. It is that midfield in particular. When we get past, we're done. You know, there's no getting back. You know, we've got to make sure we win that ball. I mean, Kovacic did get a vital toe in on Somerville. A couple of minutes ago that was so important. But it's, Kovacic doing this job on his own. It's so difficult. And Rico's inverting not that much, really. So, lovely turn by Josko Gvardiol. Spins Kudos there with a lovely little spin, but plays it safe to his Croatian partner, Kovacic. Bernardo Silva now got it on the right wing, or right back position rather, for City, looking for an option. City keeping the ball deep in our own half, trying to pull West Ham out of their shape. Akanji brings it forward down the left side. Big pocket of space here for Savinho. Go on, switch it. Foden wants it. You've got to get your head up there, mate. Oh, it's a lovely ball to Haaland. Haaland goes round. Oh, and it's a lovely finish from Erling Haaland, and it's another assist for Savinho. It's 3-0. 3-0. Savinho, mate. Have some of that. 2 assists. I don't know where that came from. Bet the old mank. Yes. 3-0. What a ball from Savinho that was. I'm thinking, get that ball to Phil Foden. Phil Foden's on the right wing, like, give it me. Give it me. Doesn't need to in the end. Doesn't need to in the end. Oh, sprinting forward like that, Savinho. So positive. Is Haaland onside? Yes, he is. Perfect ball. Looks like he's going to go round Mavropanos. But Areola, but doesn't buy it. Areola keeps going and actually gets in the way, and Haaland says, all right, I'll just dink it over you then, mate. Beautiful finish from Erling Haaland. It really is. That's intuitive, mate. That's intuitive, because you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to go round the keeper. But he realised that plan failed. So I'll go to plan B, and I'll dink it over you. 3-0. 3-0. That should be that. Yes. Buzzing, mate. And Areola kicks it straight out of play. Don't you love it when that happens? When the opposition you're playing against, you've just scored against them, and then they take kickoff and give it away straight away. It just shows how rattled they are, innit? Like they've just, like, their heads have gone now. Because I said, the next goal was a killer in this game. So important. Making it 3-0 should have killed West Ham's spirits. Church, you could be on for your 6-0 here, mate, if we play our cards right. Because there's well over a half an hour of football to play. And City should be creating more chances in this match now. But could West Ham resort to damage limitation? Rather than trying to get back in the game, I'd probably start thinking about avoiding another 5-0. Because they've just come back from a 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, and they look like they could be getting on the other end of a spanking once again. And in which case, Lopetegui, mate, your days are numbered as West Ham manager, unfortunately for you. Apparently he's big friends with Pep as well. He's a big friend of Pep, apparently. They were giving each other a big hug at the start of the game. Didn't dry it properly. Oh, lovely. So my second half pint of water has got a lovely fairy liquid flavour to it. Given away! Kevin De Bruyne is in business! Gets it into Phil Foden. It's got to be 4. It's got to be 4. It's 4. It's 4-0. It's 4-0. 4-0. 4-0. It's 4-0. Get the inflatable tube man out. Get the inflatable tubes out. It's 4-0. West Ham have completely capitulated. Completely capitulated. A stupid giveaway. And it breaks to Kevin De Bruyne. Through on goal. And he unselfishly plays in Phil Foden. And you think you cannot miss from there. And it is 4-0 Manchester City. Oh, I'm not sure who's to blame there. I think it was Kufal who gave it away. A little bit. Foden's finish isn't great, to be honest. He ends up smacking it off Areola, and it still goes in. I feel like the luck is just going our way in the last couple of games. We're getting everything. Everything. I feel like he actually megs him. Oh, it's right off the goosh. Right off the goosh. Does anyone know what, everyone knows what a goosh is, don't they? It's that bit between your anus and your scrotum. If you've got a scrotum. If you haven't got a scrotum, you're like, what are you talking about? Assuming you have a scrotum, that little patch of skin between, it came right off that. Definitely hit the goosh. Clips the goosh, bounces off the floor, 4-0. Come on! Gundogan's coming on. That is the substitution that should have been happening all season. This was the plan. Come on when the game's already won. That was meant to be the signing for Gundogan, wasn't it? Come on when we need you, mate. Let's win the game, and then come on. And enjoy yourself. Go out there, express yourself, enjoy yourself. Instead, he's been like an integral player, vitally important to this Manchester City side, playing in defensive midfield, and he cannot do that job. You know, but this was the intended job for Gundogan, to come on like this. You know what I mean? Good stuff, John. It's good stuff, mate. What? He's got to live with my goosh. That's it. Camex racking up the GD. Might come in handy, that. You're praying at a 5th spot would be available for Champions League. If we can get into the Champions League with a 5th position, I mean, surely we finish in the top 5 this season. But I'm starting to see that City, we're not back. I know I've seen it in the chat, but I don't think we're back. But there's definitely some signs of confidence is building. Little moments are just going our way, and I feel like that's just part of football. That's just a part of the game. It's you can't really point at any one individual for getting a bit lucky, sort of thing. It's just one of those things, and I do feel like it is just going our way in the last couple of games, because Jamie Vardy had so many chances against Leicester, didn't he? But we come away with a clean sheet, you know. But I'd argue there's been other games where we've been the better side and lost in this horrible run that we've been in. William, thanks for the super chat, mate. Are we good again? Big up Jonny for all you do. Big up you for supporting the channel, mate. Really appreciate that, first of all. And we're definitely closer to what we were, but we're not back. But we're good again. I think we can start saying that. We are good again. I don't think we were ever bad. You don't become bad overnight. You just... The sport is based on emotions, football, isn't it? It's all about emotions. The whole sport is founded on emotion. It's why it's the most popular sport in the world. Because there's always drama, you know, there's drama. There's always like something strange is going to happen. Or that's why you think about a goal going in. What that does for your confidence, a goal going in. That's, again, emotions. You concede a goal, you start to feel bad, don't you? The run that we've been in, you know, you think about the previous 4 years where we won 4 titles in a row. Emotions played a massive part in that success story, because we walked onto that pitch like immortal. We felt immortal. You know, no one can beat us. We're unbeatable. We are the big blue Manchester City juggernaut. No one can stop us. You feel like that. You go on and you express yourself. You do things differently when you have that spring in your step, that level of confidence. And you lose. How quick you can lose that feeling, though. Overnight, you can lose that feeling with a bad performance, and you've got to work. You've got to go back to basics to get it back. And that's what I think City are doing. And it took too long for some of these players to recognise. And I think Pep was struggling to accept how bad this had actually gotten. I think he was a little bit in denial for a little period of time, was Pep. And I forgive him. I think it's understandable. It's normal. Because we'd won 4 titles in a row. No wonder he was like... Who didn't? Loads of City fans were in denial about it. I was in denial for a bit. I was like, of course we'll come back. We lose again. Yeah, we'll be back. We lose again. We'll be back. We'll be back. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And here we are. We're back again. But now it's like... We're rebuilding the trust between the fans and the players now. That's what we're doing. We're rebuilding that level of trust where we can see a starting 11 and go, that team's going to win this game. You know, we haven't had that feeling for a very long time. And I would say the fact that we started the same 11 today that we did against Leicester, I think most City fans, well, it's a very simple logic, really, isn't it? Well, we won the previous game, so surely we can win this game. Again, Kyle Walker, foul committed on Somerville there. Got done, actually, Kyle Walker. Walker is now... so no clean sheet. Yeah, I mean, literally as I read that out, Kyle Walker's got skinned by Somerville and gave away a free kick as well. Somerville's a quality player, by the way. I'm curious to see what his future's going to be like, because I think he's a very promising player, Somerville. I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing Champions League football at some point in his career. I'm not saying City. I'm not saying he's at the top of the game or anything like that, but he looks a very good player, Somerville, really does. You speak to any West Ham fans and they love him. They really do. Micah again with the super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Even in our worst season, We're above United. Hashtag chair forever. Well, yeah. This is how good it is being a City fan and how bad it is being a United fan. It's funny how Amorim came in and nothing has changed. Ten Hag must be sat there like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like, same shit. Same shit. I could be this shit. Definitely. Anyway, free kick, Paquetá. Oh, over the bar. Wasn't a million miles away. Wasn't a million miles away there. It was a reasonable effort from Paquetá. What do you think of Paquetá, by the way? Because I think ever since the gambling allegations and the transfer saga with Manchester City, the transfer that never came to be because of the gambling allegations, he seems like he's fallen off a cliff. He doesn't seem anywhere near good enough for Manchester City. Again, emotions. That's why. Because he's had a horrible thing happen in his life where he's been accused of something that he may have done it, he may not have been doing it. I don't think it's been proven yet, one way or the other. Kyle Walker gets in a touch that Paquetá's picked up the loose pieces. Crosses in to Souček. Oh, and it's saved by Ortega. Come on, clean sheet. Lovely little flick by... and Kevin De Bruyne just boots it. Peter Kay, have it. Just lumps it forward. Great save by Ortega, though. Dracklin's enjoyed it. It was just... He came out quick, didn't he? Came out quick. Got off his line nice and quick. Closed down the attempted effort from Souček. But yeah, Paquetá. What's your thoughts on him? Because I don't think he... You wonder if he had signed... I mean, what a different world it could have been for Lucas Paquetá. It could have been signed... Forget the allegations. That never happened. He signs for Manchester City and he becomes a superstar. He becomes a vital component, a vital cog in the Manchester City machine. And he would have been... I mean, the good version of Paquetá before this betting allegations, you'd take him all day long, wouldn't you? He's a great player. Very good player. A little bit loosey-goosey with the ball. I'd like to see him further up the pitch than deeper, because he plays quite deep for West Ham. I think he's a better attacking threat than he is a defensive like assurance for West Ham. But since that, he's been crap. He's been fucking useless. Wan-Bissaka's just skinned Foden. Left foot cross comes in. It's cleared by Rico and Bernardo Silva. We're just booting it clear now, are we? We've got 20 minutes to go of just booting it clear. Wouldn't mind a fifth, but Haaland's chasing this. Max Kilman does a good job and actually takes it off him. Yeah, I need to get another mod in, don't I? But Big M, if you're watching, because I've got a different chat up right now. But kudos, bringing it forward again for West Ham. They're not finished, West Ham, are they? They're not finished at all. Still 4-0 to City, though. Ball in. And cleared. It's alright, just ignore the bell end. Oh, he's a United fan. Oh, it makes sense. No wonder. He's a sad act. Everyone look at me. Everyone look at me. I'm a little sewer rat that supports Manchester United. Everyone look at me. Look at me, everybody. It's me, the United fan. You're one of many, you fuckwit. You absolute fucktard, mate. Jeff's in the house. Boom. Jeff's in the house. Jeff's in his house. Finish him off, Jet. Fucking Jeff, mate. Fucking Jeff comes in. have some of that. Big up, Jeff. I'm looking forward to that, Zane. Bob's coming back. I'm a big, big fan of Oscar Bob. I really am. I really am. Yeah, big fan of Oscar Bob. I love that. We should do like a. Do you know what I want to do with you, Jeff? I want to swap American sweets with English sweets. You need to send me like all of the best American candies. I just said sweets, but that's candies to you. Hang on, West Ham. Ball across. No! Full crook. No! It's 4-1. Fuck's sake. It's not. Is it Kyle Walker's fault? Are we going to go down that road of blaming Kyle Walker? Because he has come on the pitch. The ball's come in from his side of the pitch. I need to see it back, but I mean, I can't say West Ham don't deserve a goal in this game, because they do. Yeah, it's Kyle Walker, mate. Where, honestly, Kyle Walker, where's he? Why has he gone in field there? Fuck's sake, man. Akanji as well should be blocking the cross better. But you're originally looking at the space that Souček gets on that left side of the pitch. I'm going to give Kyle Walker an excuse and say he was more worried about Somerville than he was worried about Souček. But you worry about your position, mate. Your position in that situation has got to be deeper. You've got to be deeper in that situation. You really do. Shocking. Oh, Elenis, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate that, mate. They are not, and that shows they are not what? And that shows teams are not afraid anymore. Before at 4-0, they had spirit broken. Now they are still testing City. Yeah, no, you're 100% right in that regard. I didn't believe we'd done enough to scare West Ham out of attacking in this game, like turn them into a damage limitation side, and they've scored. As a result, there's Paquetá right there. You just see him boot it out for a throw-in then. He turned and just started punching the ground in frustration. Emotions. Hoodrich, Demigod. That's a great name. Appreciate the super chat, mate. Really do. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. If you've got something you want to say, mate, pop it in the chat and I'll read it out, because that was your first super chat. And I know exactly what you did. You sent the super chat and forgot to write a message. I've seen it done, mate, so don't worry about it. Send us a message and I'll read it out for you, mate. Jeff, you want a mixed chocolate-based... Oh, Jeff, I was joking, mate. But I need to send you some stuff as well. Like, I was thinking, like, Cadbury's, basically, because I bet Cadbury's costs a fortune in America because of importation tax. But I love American sweets. There's a petrol station up the road from me that sells a few, actually. I'll pop in there and get some nerds. Get some nerds and the odd Twinkie. Milk Duds, mate. Milk Duds, they're bloody brilliant, they are. But we've got Haribo, mate. Haribo and Cadbury's all day long. Don't send him Cadbury's. Why, Jan? I love Cadbury's. We're sleeping here, aren't we? We really are. Fucking Ortega keeps the ball. What a bit of goalkeeping that was. Just took an absolute whack in the rib cage. Stefan Ortega, that looked awkward. That did. Fulkrug smashed him in the air. But not only did he splat on the floor, but he held on the ball, mate. He actually kept the ball. Took a whack right in the hip. Lands on his spine. And he still keeps the ball as well. Ortega actually bounces. Yeah, he still got it. He still kept it. Stefan Ortega, you're a soldier, mate. You're a warrior. But we don't have... What have we got? We could be seeing Scott Carson here if things don't go to plan here. If Ortega doesn't get up, yep, cameras are on him. Scott Carson's could be in business, mate. And there's plenty of time for West Ham to score 3 goals. Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. 4-1. Nice one, CJs. But yeah, Ortega's gone down. He's hiding. Carson's like ducking down. He's hiding behind McAtee. Oh, there he is. You better get your boots on, mate. Dust them cobwebs off. Scott bloody Carson. Oh, Jack, weren't you the one who's gone to the game today? Are you in the USA right now? There was someone who said they were going to the game and they'd spent a fortune on getting from America to the game today. Oh. Alanis. Hook us up. Hook us up. Cadbury's is great. Stefan Ortega's, he's still sat down here. Looks like he's getting back to his feet, but we massively need him. The good thing about a goalkeeping position is normally you get an extra minute or two to see if you're okay, because the ball's not always around the goalkeeping area, is it? But yeah. I need to blow my nose. Hang on a minute. I've got a tickle. But yeah, I can't believe we didn't keep a clean sheet. Really disappointing in that. Because it looked like this could be a 5-6-0. Church could have been onto one here, finally getting his way. And getting that sixth goal. Oh, referee's blown. Haaland gives a foul away, but I don't think he meant it there, Erling Haaland. But he looks hurt here, Alvarez. He stayed down. It looked like one of those accidental stamps. Like, he didn't stamp on him on purpose, but he's just like... Yeah, it looks like he's clipped his Achilles or something. I don't know. Or maybe a knee-to-knee sort of action. That bloody hurts, that. Yeah, it could be like knee-to-knee. The referee got in the way, so I couldn't see what actually happened there. But free kick to West Ham. The 80th minute is on its way. As it has been all game. Surprise, surprise. Time tends to do that. Never stops. Kilman on the edge of the area. Just about keeping it alive. Gets it out. It's ball in. Whipped in. Full crew chests it. Wan-Bissaka left foot drive over the bar. Fucking hell. I think if we can get to the 85th minute, survive 9 minutes at 4-1, we win the game. Even if we win the game 4-3. I don't think they score 3 goals from the 85th minute onwards. I don't think West Ham have got that in their locker. But I'm still not convinced. AM7, no. Definitely not. Yeah, but that was from like the 70th minute. They scored in like their third, it was like the 76th minute. They made it 3-1. Plus, we didn't have 4 goals at that point either, did we? So it would be like now. It would be like at this point now, the equivalent, let's say it's 3-0 rather than 4-1. If West Ham scored right now, I would shit the bed. I would officially shit my pants and start worrying about the actual scoreline, the outcome of the game, not the scoreline. I mean, like I said, everyone's saying it in the chat. You don't care how we win. The ugly thing about saying that is when you're 4-0 up and you win the game 4-3, doesn't quite feel like a win. Not as good a win, you know what I mean? But I agree with the statement, any win will do, because yes, any win will do. With the way we're playing lately, yeah, I'd take any win. But being 4-0 up and seeing the game clawed back from a 4-0 advantage, you go into the next game like, oh, that wasn't like a fulfilling game of confidence, was it? Like, I'm going into Salford shitting my pants now, you know? How many do we think Liverpool will beat United this weekend? I don't know. It could be worse than 7-0 was the previous spanking, wasn't it? Eliana wants 9-0. McAtee's coming on. Getting 11 minutes of football. Come on, James. McAtee. Really? No, I thought you're asking. I thought you were telling me. No, he's on. He's fine. He's all right. He's back on his feet. it was impact on the hip, first of all. It's Savinho coming off. Well done, Savinho. Is it 2 assists for Savinho or 3? Did he get 3 today? But yeah, good to see McAtee on. Hopefully he can help City get a 5th goal, because 5-1 feels emphatic, feels good. Ugh, I don't want to pick on Kyle Walker at all, but everything he's done in this game has made me feel a bit like... Just down on the ball, it looked like he was struggling. Like, I actually feel sorry for Kyle Walker at this point, because he just looks completely out of his depth. Like, his confidence is shot. I feel like he doesn't want to be the captain anymore. He doesn't want the limelight, because I think he gets a lot of stick off City fans, some of which has been disgraceful, absolutely disgusting. Some of the City fan abuse that he's received on certain platforms. But when we talk about players from a footballing standpoint, rather than what, their skin colour and anything like that, it's just no need. Absolutely no need for it at all. But when we talk about football, the criticism that Kyle Walker's come under fire for this season, he needs to accept that. Ball over the top, Fulkrug's in here. He's going to lay it off to Somerville, and he's smashed it over the bar, and that is West Ham in a nutshell right there. Creating the chances, but yeah. Yeah. This guy, man, who's like, Jeff gave him a timeout. He gave him a timeout, and he sat there waiting, looking at the clock ticking down, waiting to come back. You got nothing better to do, mate, than coming on is your life that fucking low that you've come onto a City channel to try and wind up City fans? Is your life that bad, mate? Is it that bad, mate? Do you know what, mate? There's help out there for you, though, mate. Yeah. I know, there's help out there for you, mate. You can get help, Speak to someone about these things, man. If you're feeling sad and your life is obviously as shit as yours, there's plenty of options. Maybe support a different football club. It might change your outlook. Change allegiances. Stop supporting a shower of shit. That might help. Give that a go. Ball across Somerville's got to be offside there. Got to be offside. Oh, Walker blocks the cross. Well done, Kyle Walker. Got to give him a pat on the back when he does something good. Kyle bloody Walker. I don't know, Hoodrich. I hope you're good. Ball in. Oh, fucking... There you go. What did I say at the start? Souček loves a set piece. The guy knows how to read the flight of a football. He's very good in the air, Thomas Souček. Gets underneath it, free as a bird. Bernardo Silva throws his arms in, annoyance that the chance even came to be. You're wondering who's the man who's meant to be marking him, but no one was near him. Free header. Luckily, the cross came in deep, so the header actually came, almost on the edge of the area, so... It was easy to read for Ortega if he needed to save it, but it wasn't even on target. But good question, Hoodrich. I don't know. Who's available? 21 is available. I wonder who would get the 21. David Silva. 7. Cancelo is the man who wore number 7, didn't he? 7, 21. Big numbers to in terms of the icon side of the number. But there's a couple of injuries here to deal with. Mavropanos and Phil Foden both down on the pitch. Not sure what happened, but Haaland has been substituted off, if you're wondering, and Grealish on. So you're wondering who's going to go up front. Yeah, let us know what the other scores are. What are the other scores? Chelsea are drawing, are they? Oh, is he? Yeah, of course Sergio Gomez has got, but he's gone now, hasn't he? That was a big number for him to take, that, wasn't it? Let's have another look at the other scores. But yeah, we're approaching that 85th minute where I said if we keep it to 4-1, we'll win the game. I still believe that. It's crazy that I have to even say things like that because, I mean, that should just be the norm. You're 4-0 up at one point. Now, okay, 4-1, you've conceded a goal, but you don't need to be conceding a second goal now. Heavy touch from Wan-Bissaka. Gives it away. Kyle Walker didn't really need to do anything other than walk over to that football. But Manuel Akanji with a shocking ball into Gundogan. Gundogan, I mean, I don't know who's to blame there. The touch from Gundogan or the bad pass from Akanji. My first thought was it was a bad ball. Kyle Walker is going to get beaten. Oh, West Ham have nearly got a second. Right on the 85th minute, which will have fully tested my theory that 85 minutes in this game is done. That would have fully tested that theory. I can't believe we nearly did it. And it would have been Paquetá. I think he glanced the post. It took a little skim. I'm not sure if it did touch the post. But Paquetá nearly makes it 4-2. Is it 1-1 with Chelsea, is it? Let's have another look. I've been trying to look at it for 5 minutes now. Yeah. Come on, Leicester. Got Sethella in the chat, Leicester fan. Hope you're enjoying your game, mate. And Palace have equalised. That's the news that you're all enjoying in the chat. Bournemouth 1-0 up against Everton. Bloody good side. Bloody good side. How you doing, Grace? Good to see you. Finn as well. Chelsea draw is good for the season, but bad for the ACCA. What's on your ACCA, mate? I haven't bet in ages. I haven't made a bet in ages. I had a season I came in one season. I had a really good season where me and my dad just used to go halves on an ACCA every week. And we'd come away with, like, at the end of the season, we were like 600-700 quid up. You know, we had a really good season once. But yeah, I didn't want to get into it, to be honest. I don't want to get addicted to it. That's the problem. But yeah, Brentford 3-0 up. Southampton are done. They're finished, aren't they? They bring in a new manager, fixes nothing. 3-0 at home to Brentford. But they've got some players, haven't they? Brentford, they really have. Mbeumo. He's a good player, he is. Kyle Walker with it. It's so crap. That pass there to James McAtee. It's a hospital ball, mate. McAtee might get a booking for that. Maybe not. But he telegraphed it. Kyle Walker then, mate. Down the line. I love you too, Grace. And where do I live? I'm going to give you my address. I'll pop my address in the chat for everyone to rock up to my house, shall I? Manchester. That's where I live. I don't know, Bandile or Bandil. I don't know. It's meant to be this year. It's meant to be like January, February sort of time. But it was a leg break. But a minor one, not a big one. Apparently it was a minor, like more of a fracture apparently. But I mean, it's hard to gauge, innit? Bones heal at different rates, don't they? So, yeah, but I'm hoping February at the latest to see Oscar Bob. That'd be great. He does, doesn't he, Hannah? Mark, piss off! Mark Flecken. He's a bloody good goalkeeper, isn't he? He turns into like a blend of Manuel Neuer and Buffon, doesn't he? In the game whenever he plays against City. Grealish holding the ball up there, getting a free kick off Kufal. But it's high fives all around there. Jack Grealish normally ends up in an argument, doesn't he? Every game, Jack Grealish, but seems like Kufal respects him. I reckon Grealish is probably one of the most hated players by other players. I think all players seem to hate Grealish. Like, they always seem to have a problem. A lot of Champions League games, you see fullback target Jack Grealish, like pulling his hair. Savic, Atletico Madrid. Do you remember that? Yeah, Savic was he was on one, wasn't he, in that game where it all kicked off when Phil Foden went down. That was so mad, that. And Jack Grealish, you could read his lips Good job I didn't say it, because otherwise I get demonetized. I got demonetized on the last video, actually, and I appealed it. I must have said something. I swear a lot, so I thought it's just like excessive amount of swearing is why I got demonetized. But I mean, it's like I do it in every stream, so I don't always get demonetized. I appealed it, and it was fine. Oh shit, I nearly got hacked as well, midweek. Probably what Grace is trying to do, hack me. But yeah, I ended up tuning into the stream. At the beginning, and my OBS software had some other thing in it, and all of a sudden it was like, do you want to stream to Fortnite? And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I got a warning midweek saying, like, a critical warning, change your password now. So I did, and everything seems to be fine, and we're all good. But yeah, someone tried to hack me. Still here, fucker. Have some of that. Swivel on it. If you're watching. 6 minutes of added time. Jack Grealish holds the ball up. I'd love a fifth. I would love a fifth, because 5-1 is a real statement of a result, because that's back-to-back wins, and that second victory is 5-1. That's a real statement. It's not been a statement performance whatsoever. Certainly not worthy of a 5-1 win. Certainly not worthy of that. And I'd say 4-1 flatters us a little bit. I don't want to be a party pooper, but I don't think we deserve to win this game 4-1, let alone 5-1. D says, when I don't make a prediction, we win. Well, your future jobs are sorted, mate. Your life's easy. Do nothing in future, D. Do nothing and we will win. So your job's sorted. That's your new role as a Manchester City fan. Do absolutely nothing and we will win. What is injury time? Well, it's added time, innit? There's multiple. In terms of the number of minutes, it's 6. But here's Jack Grealish. Oh, Jack! I thought that was flying in the top corner then, but it took a deflection out for a corner to City. It's 6 minutes, Beast. I thought I already said that, but apologies if I didn't. What I have seen as well, I wanted to note on this performance, is a lot of spirit lifting from players, from other players. I saw it, and Phil Foden's been one of the main ones, actually. Just applauding Jack Grealish then for his effort. I saw him before in a corner. You know the Souček header? When he was on the edge of the area and he headed it past the post. If you go and watch it back, not really worth going back just to watch what I'm describing to you now. But it's these little things that I appreciate and I like to see it. Bernardo Silva went like that. Like the chance for Souček infuriated Bernardo Silva, so he had a little bit of a hissy fit. Went, like that. Phil Foden went, don't worry about it, mate. It's all good. We'll go again. That's the sort of attitude we need more of that on the pitch. And Phil Foden's not normally one to be like a leader in that way. But maybe, because I mean, he's still so young, but with years to come, Phil Foden could well become a leader of this Manchester City squad when he starts hitting 28 years old, 29 years old, and his game develops, his personality develops. You know, he's got a lot of growing to do on and off the pitch still, because I mean, which mid-20-year-old doesn't? All 20-year-olds have got lots of growing to do. You know, mentally more often than not. You know, it's mad thinking about what I used to think about and the way I used to behave as a 26-year-old. 10 years later, as a 36-year-old, totally different. I would say having kids had a big role in that, to be honest. Most of these players are having kids like at 20 years old. Phil Foden's, he's got a couple already. Kyle Walker's got 700 of them. You know, so I mean, it didn't help his maturity, did it? So, anyway. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. Don't even know where that started. Phil Foden doing that. All of that came from Phil Foden doing that to Jack Grealish. My brain goes off on one, man. Just goes off on a complete journey. But I appreciate you being here to listen to this bollocks I come out with. Appreciate it. Really do. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Big up Kieran for the super chat. Thank you very much. Foden is finally looking great again. He's played well. He actually has played reasonably well. I appreciate his attitude a lot, which is what I just went into. But he has played well. Jeff sees the funny side of it. It's a good old traditional name. We don't have like traditional names anymore. Like they're dying out, aren't they? Kids are called all sorts now, aren't they? Like Zygon and Spoggo. What the fuck was that? Who the fuck calls that? I just pulled that out of my ass. But who the... I've lost it now. I'm gone. I don't know if I speak, I'll laugh too much. Who the fuck calls their kids Spoggo? Like, what even is that? What even is that? Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, no one's called like John anymore or Dave. No, they're gone, them names. Jeff, we're finished, mate. Go on, Kevin. Go on, Kevin. Into Foden. Let's make it 5. We're dancing around the penalty area. There's seconds to go. First of all, we've won the game. Great news. We've won the game. Even though the final whistle's not gone, there's seconds remaining. We've won the game. That's great news. Really is. Gundogan. Going further away from goal. Surely the referee's going to blow his whistle and we're not going to get that 5th. But you never know. Here comes Gundo. Out to Bernardo Silva. One last opportunity to make it 5-1. Ball into Phil Foden. He's going round a few. He's going to get a shot away, is he? No, but Kevin De Bruyne is. Oh, it's straight into the hands of Areola. That's got to be the full-time whistle. The full-time whistle goes. Final shot of the game comes from Kevin De Bruyne. Could have made it 5, but he didn't. 4-1's enough. I'll take 4-1. The circumstances we're in right now, 4-1 is a great result. I don't think many people would have predicted 4-1 at the start of the game. Not many people would have predicted that. 4-1 is absolutely fantastic. It really is. Big up to you, Clara, as well. 100% the Creative City till I die. Yes, we are. We all are, mate. We all are. It's good, man. We're back to a winning feeling. We're not back like back, but we're back to that winning feeling. 5-0 Brentford, was it? Christ. Jesus, Southampton are done, mate, aren't they? They are done. They are finished. And it was a good game, Ritish. Or Rightish, not sure how you pronounce that, but I mean, yeah, let's call it Ritish. It was a good game from a neutral perspective. If I wanted City to lose that game and I was watching, I'd be frustrated though. I'd be thinking, City got a little bit lucky. A little bit lucky, you know? See you later, Messi. Have a good one. You know? But the first half was... Just again, I want to emphasise City's strengths in this game because there was a lot of them. There was plenty and plenty of positives to talk about in this game. The 4-1 is a little bit flattering. I feel like 3-1 probably would have been a fair result. And I think West Ham could need to look at themselves in the mirror and only have themselves to blame for not being more potent in the final third. From a City perspective, that's not our fault. And we did what we could do to defend what they threw at us. And we did do more often than not. It wasn't like West Ham are being gifted opportunities like there have been in certain games. Obviously, I feel like their goal that they scored was very, very preventable. So avoidable. To come away with a clean sheet would have been fantastic because that would have been back-to-back clean sheets. Building the defender's confidence. Ortega as well is thrown into that as an equation as well because he obviously wants to keep clean sheets. But to concede the goal... The manner of the way we conceded the goal, yeah, it wasn't as ugly as it has been in previous weeks, but like I said, still preventable. That cross shouldn't be coming in like that. I would argue all game, though, the crosses were coming in too easily, far too easily at times. But when they did, they weren't good enough. You're looking at West Ham. And any that were looking like a potential threat, Ake, Akanji and Ortega, they got underneath it. Ortega either collected it, Akanji either cleared it. We saw Foden getting back quite frequently in this game and putting in a defensive contribution here and there. We saw Haaland getting back and defending a throw-in at the near post. You know, so the players that they're playing for the badge. You know, they're still doing that. They're playing for Pep. They're playing for the badge. And Pep Guardiola has made a strong statement as to at least created the first stepping stone now for our journey back to what we consider as City fans to be normality, of winning more often than not. I mean, we can't say normality is 4 Premier League titles in a row because that isn't normality. winning a Premier League title is an unbelievable achievement. Winning 4 in a row should never be considered normality. And if that becomes our expectations as City fans, then you're going to live your life as a City fan being sorely disappointed, because we're not going to win the league every year. We don't. It's not possible. And this is our year where we've made mistakes in the transfer market. We've come up against a Liverpool side that was just hitting their peak at the right moment. What Klopp had built, Slot has taken it over and taken them. So, yeah, Liverpool clearly going to go and win the league now. Only can they throw it away and give it to probably Arsenal. Is there any chance of anyone else winning this league? But surely this is Liverpool's to win. Next year, though, the transfer market now, starting now, you add Omar Mamouche to this. You add Omar Mamouche to this squad alone is a statement that would get us into more creativity, more output from a different player that's not called Erling Haaland. Player that can come and score goals. An Alvarez direct replacement. A varied replacement as well, because Alvarez, for me, was close to being a Haaland-like cover. Because he was more of a number 9 with that ability to drop. That's Alvarez. He can do that. We saw him drop even deeper, playing as an 8 on occasions. Even went onto the left wing last season, Alvarez. I don't think he can do that job, Alvarez. He's nowhere near good enough to do that job. And his style of play doesn't suit being out there. But if you watch Omar Mamouche, he could play as a number 9. He can play as a number 10. He can definitely go out wide. He has done already, numerous times this season for Eintracht Frankfurt. He's got a couple appearances on that left wing already. So, versatility is fantastic. If we were to get him now in January, what a statement that would be. Excuse me. But it's not the area of the pitch that concerns me most for the rest of the season. If we want to win an FA Cup or get into the knockout stages and the latter stages of the Champions League where it becomes anybody's game, if you get to the quarterfinals of a Champions League, I feel like at any point, any of those teams could win it. Legitimately, any of them, because luck plays a massive part in knockout football. So, yeah, I believe that we could still do some serious things this season in terms of an FA Cup. I don't believe we're going to win the Champions League. I don't want to get carried away. I think we will get found out eventually in that tournament. We've got to get through the fucking league first. That part of that, the midsection, get through that, and then into the playoffs. Obviously, the Premier League's a write-off, but you start throwing in a central midfielder that we could sign. Ederson from Atalanta sounds incredibly unlikely. I'll be gobsmacked if we were to go and sign Ederson from Atalanta. Atalanta, who are challenging for Serie A, could be the first time in their history that they go and win it. But I would say I'm surprised that we're signing Omar Mamouche by the sounds of it. It's not done yet, by the way. It's coming out of Egyptian media that it's already been done. I'd take that with a pinch of salt first. But apparently we are legitimately interested in Omar Mamouche. If we could get that deal done in January, I'd be equally surprised as I would be surprised if Ederson came from Atalanta to join Manchester City. Because as much as it's like, yes, the journey for Eintracht Frankfurt is not over. They're in the middle of their season. They could go and win a Europa League. Atalanta could go and win Serie A. They're also in the Champions League. Atalanta put up a great performance against Real Madrid, even though it was at Atalanta. At Atalanta, that's not an easy one to say. But yeah, the fact that we can acquire these players is testament to us. One, Pep. Two, the Premier League. You've got to throw that in there, even though I have no respect for the institution that is the Premier League and those that represent it in terms of not the teams, the people behind it, the individuals, the Richard Masters of this world. Anyway, that's a separate story. And Manchester City, that pulling factor is enough, I think, to take the best players from clubs that are in the middle of a season achieving great things, but a player, as they should be, thinks selfishly about their own career. Omar Mamouche has obviously got allegiances to Eintracht Frankfurt, as does any football player to the club they play for. What does it mean to him to represent Eintracht Frankfurt when Manchester City come knocking? When Pep Guardiola could be your manager for the next 2 years, at least. Should Pep Guardiola extend, that's, again, another story for another day. Same to Ederson. We should respect ourselves in the fact that we have pulling power. I think we can pay you as well, don't forget that. We can give you a payday, mate. So it's makes sense for City to be targeting players that we're targeting, but I do think City fans need to bear in mind that there could be a situation where it's not in the players' control and it's not in Manchester City's control. You keep tabling offers and they keep getting pushed back by Atalanta and Eintracht Frankfurt, then the deal doesn't happen. If you get one, all it takes is one stubborn football club owner. I don't know who the owner of Atalanta is, and I don't know who the owner of Eintracht Frankfurt is. Whoever that individual is that owns that football club, they just need to stick their feet in the ground, be stubborn, and say no. Relentlessly say no, and the deal will not happen. You won't get that player. You have to move on to the next player. Who that is, I don't know. But right now, the three top players that are being listed is Omar Mamouche, Ederson, and Kushinov. That sounds like the most likely because that one's come from Fabrizio Romano, and he obviously gets a lot of these things right, and he gets inside information. The only thing I would say about the wording of the I don't know where it's gone. That's going to take me ages to find that now, to actually go back to, because bloody Fabrizio Romano he posts like every 3 seconds, doesn't he? So I mean, like, if you want to go back and find an old Fabrizio Romano post, it'll take you about a week to scroll through his Twitter feed. But anyway, yeah, the wording on it suggested that I think his agent might be pushing him out a little bit. Probably fed something there to Fabrizio. His agent probably wants to put his client in the shop window for everybody. One that benefits RC Lens, and also the player himself now has multiple players, and apparently the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal are all interested in this player, but he would prefer a move to Manchester City, the reports suggest. But it could just be an agent thing again, just making sure people are aware of his clients. These things happen, you know, but when Fabrizio Romano starts speaking about a player going to a certain club, the chances of it happening are higher than most sources out there. So I'm confident that one could happen during January. Sounds like a reasonable fee, very promising player. We're going off YouTube, so it's difficult to really gauge if that player, Kushinov, could come into this squad and start games. Probably not, but at least play some minutes over the course of the season. That would be nice. But then Ederson and Omar Mamouche, yeah, it's a bit of an up for grabs, isn't it? A bit of a, we'll have to wait and see what the clubs say. But in terms of the performance today, I thought City were good. It's certainly in the attacking third. I thought like Savinho, still so much to work on for Savinho. I think he's not. He could have been. I feel like he could have done better today. He was brilliant. I thought he was fantastic. The output there, the cross for Haaland was absolutely out of this world. Cross, absolute pinpoint precision from Savinho for that cross. It just took out the whole West Ham defence. And Areola was just like, oh shit. Haaland was just drifted to the back post. Trademark Erling Haaland run. Little to the near post and then to the back post. Free as a bird. All the defenders went to the near post because they thought that's where Haaland was initially running to. He ghosts in behind, gets to that back post, just nods. He just has to wait there, doesn't he? Just wait there and just like off his face into the goal, you know? And yeah, I think, oh yeah, nice clock. I do it all the time. I forget all the time. There you go. But, I got something else I could do. I could add this, actually. How about this? Should we get sophisticated? Boom! Well, I don't know why I don't do that after every game, to be honest. I've got this thing that I could have quite easily done that. Looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Rather than a clock going to 600 o'clock. You know what I mean? But, yeah, lots of people have been asking me that, Glacius, today, asking for my thoughts on Echeverri. I've given them, but I do believe, I think City fans should contain their hope a little bit for this season. I think Echeverri's got, it seems like an amazing player. The reports coming out of South America suggest that this guy's he's a wonder kid. He's going to be an absolute sensation. Unstoppable. Messi-esque is the straight away. When I first looked at him play, I didn't see Messi. You know, I didn't see Messi, the way he plays. He seems bigger, he seems taller, he seems like a completely different style of player. But in terms of like, just being linked to Echeverri, to Messi as a player is a huge compliment. But yeah, he looks exciting. Is there any news about Frimpong? Nothing yet, Isaac. I was watching Pedro Porro today, by the way, and I thought we should be looking at him, even though he's former City, and it would be a little bit embarrassing, for want of a better word, to go back for a player that we once had, and probably have to pay a large amount of money to get him back. But Pedro Porro, for me, Frimpong's sensational going forward. And he can defend. It's not like he can't defend. But there's so much emphasis on Frimpong's attacking ability that in this system, the way we play, I'm not convinced that we would have defensive solidity with Frimpong in that defence. I feel like we'd have an incredibly potent attack. You know, if you stop sending Gvardiol forward and on the right-hand side of the pitch instead, you send Frimpong forward and invert Foden, I could see that working. And as long as Gvardiol stays back, it's when you send them both forward, just leaving the two centre-backs on their own. I hate it. It's so vulnerable. And we've been exposed all season, especially when it's only Kovacic as the player that stood in front of them, you know, to protect them. But yeah, Frimpong would be amazing, but I look at Pedro Porro and just see the right balance. You know, he seems to have both ends of the pitch nailed down. I think he's solid defensively, Pedro Porro. Not perfect, but no fullback is perfect. But Rare disagrees with me. He says Porro's too inconsistent. I think you put him in a Manchester City side, I think he'd blossom. You know, he's got a goal in him. His delivery, by the way, Pedro Porro's delivery is brilliant. But yeah, Frimpong, I think, from an attacking point, you'd get more out of Frimpong than you would out of Pedro Porro. But the balance of being able to defend and being able to attack, I think Pedro Porro probably just edges out Frimpong. But Frimpong's so young still as well, isn't he? So he's got years to grow. And Pedro Porro's not exactly old, is he? But you know what I mean. People want Douglas Luiz. That's the sort of deal that City could do. In terms of, like, he's not getting game time. He's obviously familiar with the Premier League. We could do a loan deal. People are saying Dani Olmo as a loan deal because that's apparently going to the courts today or soon. Barcelona are going to take the decision to knock back the attempts to register Dani Olmo and Paul Victor have been rejected twice, if you didn't already know that. And therefore he can't play football. So if you're Dani Olmo, like, one report came out today that saying that because most of the reports following that decision have said Dani Olmo's okay with that and he's happy to be patient and wait for Barcelona to fix it. A contradicting report came out today, and I can't remember who it was, probably not that legitimate, said he's actually quite upset because he was promised by Barcelona that they would have him registered. You know, and if you're a football player, you're having your career is so small as a football player, and you're having a slither of your career stolen from you because of a promise a football club have made you to say you will be playing football. Now you're contracted legally to stay at Barcelona but not play for Barcelona. So what are you going to do? You're just going to train all day? Who wants to do that? He's a player at the top of his game. The guy wants to be picking up silverware and playing in the heart of a midfield in one of the greatest football clubs in Europe, whether it's Barcelona or Manchester City or any of them, really. He wants to play at that level. And to steal 6 months, even if they get him registered for next season, to steal that 6 months from him is criminal, mate. This shouldn't be happening in the sport. Where's the player protection? You know, what sort of legal shenanigans have gone on here for Barcelona to just ruin or spoil such a big portion of what is a very small career? You know? Criminal, man. I feel sorry for him. You know, he can't play. That's horrible. If City could come in and offer him a loan deal, I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work because I don't think City really operate like that because we're quite a definitive football club in terms of the way we operate. We don't really do bit part decisions or we don't really paper over cracks. We don't bring in a player just to fill a gap for 6 months. I don't think that's our style. We're proper long term. We think things through. We make a plan and then we stick to it. And we have that plan with 5 years of thinking ahead of it. You know, it's not like, oh shit, we've made a mistake. And that's probably what we have to do now because we've made the mistake that we made in the summer by not getting enough players in, overly dependent on Rodri, and obviously not replacing Alvarez was the worst decision in the transfer market that we made. Omar Mamouche might be the first step in rectifying that. But I'm not sure what Dani Olmo rectifies. He brings in a brilliant player. If it's a loan, let's say, for 6 months, Dani Olmo's a brilliant player, and I would love to add him to Manchester City. But he doesn't really fix anything because he isn't really a problem fixer for what our problems are. Our problem is the lack of Rodri and a solid midfield. Dani Olmo doesn't fix that. And if you want creativity, isn't that what Omar Mamouche is doing? Goals and assists from Omar Mamouche. So he's not going to play. If we're going to sign Omar Mamouche and Dani Olmo, where do they play together? If they did play, You know, instead of who? You're immediately dropping Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne, who's on his way out. So the Dani Olmo loan doesn't really make much sense to me. But if it did happen, you wonder what his thinking would be at the end of the season, saying, come back to, like, he's played 6 months at Manchester City. He'd obviously learn about the English ways, learn about Pep. Maybe we could start thinking about adding him to a long-term purchase. You know, and that 6 months is just testing the waters with Dani Olmo. I just don't think it'll happen. I don't think we'll get a loan player like the calibre of Dani Olmo, even though the circumstances are so weird with what's going on at Barcelona. I just don't see that happening. I don't think the player would want to do it either. I think it's a strange one. But yeah, great performance today from the attacking players. Savinho, Haaland getting his goal. 2 goals, of course, as well. Lovely finish for the second one. That little chip, that's just popped into my head as well. What a finish that was. You're thinking he's about to go round Areola. Areola does well, actually. Good bit of goalkeeping there in that position to prevent Haaland from going round. But Haaland just improvises and sees what the problem is. Right, I can't go round you. I'll just dink it over you instead. Brilliant. Brilliant finish from Erling Haaland. And the pass from Savinho, the drive from Savinho, first of all. Pocket of space, bursts into it. And then I thought he should be looking for Phil Foden. Shows what I know. You know what I mean? Even though I've got the privilege of watching from the angle of TV. And I didn't even see that pass to Haaland. I'm thinking, get that ball over to Foden. Foden's doing that. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Savinho says, nope, I'm going to thread the eye of a needle here. Perfect pass to Erling Haaland. And yeah, the rest is history. Great finish. Great finish. But yeah, I still think the same problems were there today that we've seen in the last 14 games, and as they were against Leicester. But we're talking about a 2-0 win and a 4-1 win. It's crazy how results dictate the narrative, when in reality, the narrative hasn't actually changed. And when I say narrative, what I really mean is on the pitch narrative, performances. And like the chat's been saying all day, big up to every one of you that tuned in. Appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting those likes as well. But yeah, I think the narrative was there. The gaps in the midfield, the ability to hit us on the counter-attack, the odd little bit of sloppiness is being not eradicated, but it's being phased out. I didn't see as many mistakes as I've done. That's the one difference that we've seen in recent weeks, Leicester and West Ham today, compared to the previous 13 games. The mistakes weren't that prominent. There weren't that many. There were still a few too many, but not that many. We look better going forward, but yeah, still the same gaps in that midfield appearing way too often. West Ham hitting us on the counter-attack all too easily. But yeah, brilliant result. Can't ask for much more, really. Great stuff. Timmy, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, superb, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you've hit that like button on your way out. Manchester City 4, West Ham 1. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 2 wins back-to-back. Surely we get 3 with Salford next. Surely we do. Come and join me. I'll be doing a watch-along for that. No video tomorrow whatsoever. Family obligations. I've got family over who are from Cyprus. So I want to go and spend a bit of time with them because it's their last day here tomorrow. So I don't see them. Well, I see them like once a year. So I want to spend the day with them, which I'm going to do tomorrow, knowing that Manchester City have bagged 3 Premier League points. And then I'll sit back and watch United get demolished. 7 or 8-0, possibly. I don't know. But I can't see United winning that game whatsoever. But great stream. Really enjoyed it today and really enjoyed speaking to a lot of you. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and I'll see you in the next one.